Good day, mates. We are the Odd Set. I'm Haikal.
Wagwan, Mary.
What's up, guys? I'm Ish.
It's the fourth week running that you are missing the pretending.
Oh man! Welcome to Game Week 4, boys.
Yes,
Game
welcome
Week.
to another episode of the Oddset Football, where we cover the Premier League extensively, and this is Singapore's top Premier League
That's
roundup
right.
roundup show.
Are we the
That's
only
right.
ones?
I think that it's
I
a
don't
few, right?
think
I saw a
so.
few.
But we are the only ones that matter. So if you have not
That's right.
subscribed, do subscribe now. I will give you 5 seconds. The subscribe button is here, there, or somewhere down there.
Yeah,
Subscribe?
yeah, man.
Yes?
Let's
No?
subscribe.
All right, good to go, man. I how you guys feeling, man? This week we
Ah,
we
Fantastic,
we we,
fantastic. I
we
feel
took
so good.
we took a break because international break, right?
yeah.
International game weeks are a bore and so disruptive to the season when it just started. Did you guys read the news that next year FIFA are going to break the season for the international week? So it will be a 3 week international break.
What?
I think it begins somewhere 20th September or something like that,
So
all
it's
the
going to be
way
even longer.
through to 6 October. So instead of breaking it into 2 international weeks, right? They're gonna lump it up. So we will not have
Mm,
3 weeks of like domestic
like
leagues going on,
interrupted. Yeah. Okay. Mm,
right?
But there's one more international break coming in like 2 weeks, right?
yeah.
2 or 3
Yeah.
weeks.
So I think that is what they are trying
Yeah.
to lump into one and put it to 3 weeks to
But,
3 weeks in a row. That's going to be a bore, man.
but
Yeah.
would you guys rather that than like disrupting, like things coming back to
Is it really
momentum, the
important though?
international breaks?
International weeks.
I think if you
Like
qualifiers, right? Like if
call it
Yeah.
qualifiers,
Euro lah, should be Euro, right?
yeah, I
Because
think
World Cup finish first.
the
Yeah.
next qualifier is the Euros. So
3 weeks,
enough
man.
of that international break because we are already sick of it. International football can take a back seat. What we'll bring to the forefront is game week 4. As usual, we'll be rounding up the games, the biggest games of the week. And
That's
there's
right.
no other place to start than
Here we go.
the Etihad. At the Etihad, Manchester City 3, Manchester United 0. So you guys had met predictions the last episode.
That's
Ismail
right.
had a 3-1 to United. Heikel had a 2-1 to United. I had a 2-0 and Meat. Shout out to Meat. He's not with us this week. We'll get him back soon. So I think Meat predicted like 3-1 to City.
2-0. 2-0.
No, no.
2-0 was
We
mine, right?
to 3-1 or
So
something
yeah, I
to
think he
Man City.
predicted like 3-1, but it was
Yeah.
straightforward. I saw it to be a straightforward game. That's why I predicted 2-0, but you guys felt differently.
Hmm.
So what do you make out of the game?
I don't know how to feel anymore, bro. Honestly. Like how am I supposed to feel, man? Like let me just start it off ish and Medi. I yeah man. I honestly thought um we actually had a good shout because of the additions that we had. Um, but I was proven wrong again. Like I don't know how to feel this time around. I swear, like um, yeah, man, we feel so lost. The players feel so lost. Um, Amorim's decisions again was so questionable. Like, eh, think about it this way, right? Like we are all not managers.
Mm-hmm.
Probably only football managers, caliber manager. FM26 is coming out, everyone, so look out for that. But anyway, um, but it's pretty obvious that even we can see like his decision is very weird, very off. It's like, for example, like not playing Mainu, not starting the new goalkeeper, still having Luke Shaw on the field. And for example, right, why I say Luke Shaw, right? Yeah, get it, like this guy, he's a part-timer anyways for United, but instead of taking Luke Shaw out, he took Euro out. And after, like, Luke Shaw's performance in that first half to like before Euro was like first half to like second half, a bit of the second half before Euro was taken out, it was obvious that Luke Shaw was doing worse than Euro. So I don't know, man. Like playing players out of position, I think cost us again. Bruno. I think we spoke about this during the game. It was Bruno's man. But how do we blame Bruno fully as well? But of course, accountability has to be taken. You for someone who's played football before, I was a winger, but then I got put to play right back. I got put to play centre mid. You got to adapt, right? Maybe it's not easy. I get it. Maybe it's not something that you are good at, but you gotta adapt, knowing your position, knowing your standard as a player, knowing his caliber and his, like, responsibility as the captain. Um, I think he could do more. I think a lot of our players could do more. Um, yeah, man. I'm just truly lost. I wasn't. Here's the bad thing, right? Like, I'm sad that United lost. But I'm more sad of, like, um the things that are happening, like, players not turning up. Amorim, like, he's like, I saw this video, someone said, like, he's setting himself to, like, to get fired. So I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I mean, that's what I have for now. I mean, Ish, what do you think, bro?
Oh, okay, thanks, Michael. So like I do not quite
You think this
agree
one
with like
Zoom business meeting? Thanks, Haikal. Take it away from there.
sorry bro, it's just instinct. Okay, wait, talking about instincts, right? Okay. So I was watching this podcast, right? They were mentioning like how at this highest level, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like players are competent
Mm-hmm.
and wherever you put them, right? But the problem lies in instinct. Okay? So instinct meaning, right, Bruno doesn't have the defensive instinct and you cannot do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you cannot grow these things, right? Like it's either you have it or you don't. Like as compared to someone like Ugachi, right? He is tight on the ball, like he's nonsense, he frees like a hot potato, but his defensive instincts are top.
Mm-hmm.
So you put Ugarte and Bruno there, like, and Bruno doesn't have the skills. Like for example, the Fulham game, Smith Rowe running into the box, right? Then he's forced to go. Then this game, this Foden runs in, and it was actually unfortunate because actually Ugarte blocked the ball already. Then just nice go to his leg, but still like a momentary lapse in concentration. But it's not his instinct. He's more of an attacker, and we all know
Yeah,
that.
fair enough. Yeah.
So you cannot put him there. And if like my only criticism of Ruben, right, other than like the fact that he has lost to know how many 25% win rate, my only criticism of him is shoehorning players into places that like they don't belong there. And he will like I really hope he doesn't die on this hill because if he continues this way, and then won't be confirm gonna get a sack. But the thing is that I think Ineos also don't want to sack him. So he's telling them very clear, the post-match conference, I'm not going to change. If you want to change the man.
Yeah.
Okay, that's number one. Number two, I'm not happy with Bruno, not because of his performance. I'm happy with him because of the fact that post-match he comes out and says that it is Euro's fault. I don't know whether you guys watched.
No, I didn't.
It's
What exactly did he say?
some nonsense thing whereby he said, I was marking Rodri. Euro should have come up to get Foden.
He did that.
Yeah. The thing is, right, how can you, as a captain, right, be blaming a 19-year-old guy where everyone knows it's your fault.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone knows you messed up. How can you, as a captain of the club, even if it's your fault, right, you take it in the stride, you go out, you go back to the locker room, then you make a comment.
Tell him
Not
offline,
outside where you are making this kind of comment and taking the blame from yourself. Because he didn't have a fantastic game. Euro had a shit game.
Yeah.
Like absolute nonsense. Luke Shaw was right. But then Luke Shaw has been earning a living for 9 years with us. Okay. In the big year of 2025, why are we playing Luke Shaw?
Mm-hmm.
We have Heaven ready, I feel. Right? We have Heaven ready. Actually, we are waiting for like Lisandro to come back and all that. But why are we playing Luke Shaw? Luke Shaw is he's a Finnish footballer, man. Like
Why do you think he's not part of this bomb squad
oh,
that Luke Shaw? Like Amorim, so much, so set numbers of players out of the squad, and Luke Shaw somehow has escaped.
oh.
And
Bro,
it wasn't as though Luke Shaw didn't have his controversy, right? Luke Shaw
yeah,
has always
uh,
been injured. Then Luke Shaw had the whole appearing on TikTok while he was injured,
mm, like for me,
something like that.
I think it's because like okay, so Luke Shaw, right? Like he will be injured for like 5-6 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, especially under Ten Hag. But then he will come back, right? And he will have a mad 2-3 months of football. Like
Mm-hmm.
he'll be the best, like at that point, wow, very good left backs. Like when we playing under Ten Hag. Then even like under Amorim, right? Then the first few times he came on, he was a very good left centre back. A very
Mm-hmm.
good replacement to Lisandro lah. Because Lisandro would get injured, right? So I don't know whether you guys remember last season, right? He was actually doing very well up until the final,
I
like Luke
think
Shaw.
part of it is to actually suss out the problem. Huh? It's a pattern. How are you guys not being? How are you guys not aware of the pattern?
So
Especially if
here's
Amorim is someone that picks
Mm.
up on patterns of players. Why
Yeah.
is so difficult to see that this has been going on for 9 years and still
here's my
refusing?
here's my like hot take, and here's like probably like controversial like take, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's got to do with his contract or something that we don't know, right?
Okay.
I totally do not understand back then when he was younger, and when we had him, when we first signed him and stuff, he was potentially England's up and coming left back for the years to come, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was supposed to be the guy who was to be, probably a veteran in the England team, and from a youngster to a veteran, and like be in the team, and then probably like be the
Mm-hmm.
next guy all the way. So I believe it must be something that we don't know, because I do not understand, because like I get it, he had like bursts of moments where he would do well, but his burst or his period of moment where he did well, to me, is not enough compared to the periods where he was totally shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
let me give you an example, right? How old is he? 28, probably 20, 26, 27, 28. He's that age, right? Going to 30s already, right? The funny thing is, let me give you a situation in the game, right? When Doku was that first goal for Foden, Doku
Mm-hmm.
created that. He got sent by Doku, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's a player who is a one trick pony as well,
Yeah.
right? And you are a veteran. You are already someone who is so good. You already see Ugarte on your right, covering him, and that yet you still get sent to your right. Like
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get it,
You
man.
you
Like,
guys made Doku look like a prime player. I'm not a fan of Doku because of the
mm,
exact same thing that you have said. I feel it's like a one trick pony. I think any team shuts him down very easily. If like I can give you an example of if you had a Aaron Wan Bisaka kind of guy on the right back, Doku is top.
yeah,
There's no because he's so predictable. But you guys made him have such a good game that the City fans are back out now,
yeah,
singing praises of Jeremy Doku, and I did not even rate him. I always figured like, how is he starting ahead of Jack Grealish when Grealish was in City? Because it's so it's so easy to predict what he's going to do.
yeah,
He's going to have a turn of pace and try to beat you. So all you have to do is just wait out for and just like
yeah,
what see up to next. But when it comes to Luke Shaw, I feel like you guys are taking too long to address something that has been so obvious for so long. Because look at Chelsea, they know that Ben Chilwell can put in a good performance, but they know that Ben Chilwell will not be available for large parts of the season. What do? Let him go,
gone.
right?
Yeah,
Or get him out on loan. If you still believe that he can do something, then send him out on loan. Like Ismail mentioned, there's like heaven and all of that, right? You guys have options to do something different than playing Luke Shaw. It's his 4th consecutive game this season. Am I right?
Yeah, it's the longest he has played, like consecutively for United. Yeah, wow.
Luke Shaw in 2025 playing 4 games in a row is a
It's
crime.
it's
It's a crime.
crazy.
and and and
It's
he's
crazy work, man.
and he's bloody lazy, guys. Like I can't believe how lazy he is. You know, like you, man. I'm just sick and tired of Shaw, man. He got bodied by Haaland. You know, he
But
got.
it's not the problem. What I feel is why you guys surprised? Like you guys shouldn't be
I'm
surprised because
surprised
the
that he was on the
manager.
field. I'm
Yeah,
still surprised.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
you know, I'm still
so
surprised.
we're gonna touch on what Ismail mentioned earlier. Amrim said post game, I won't change my philosophy. If you want it changed, he's not talking about us, as in I guess the board. You guys would have to change the man.
Yeah,
How do you guys feel? But here's my personal take, right? If I am not performing at work and then there's no reason for my boss to see that I'm doing okay, and then when my boss comes and talk to me and then I tell my boss that I will not be changing my philosophy. If you guys want it changed, you can change the man. My boss is going to fire me the next day. So what do you guys think of this new new quotes that Ruben Amorim, he seems to always have some quote, we must suffer, the good days are coming, and then now there's this new one that I won't change. So for someone that is not performing to say that, do you guys back that statement still?
go for it, man. Ishmael.
Um, uh, okay. So I think I've had this discussion with you already, like over the last few weeks.
Yep.
Like 2,000
Sending Heikel 700-800 messages when he's
in,
asleep.
in totality, 2,000 over messages over this, right? But okay, so like for example, the City game, right? What I
Mm-hmm.
saw was a bunch of players who were lazy as fuck, lah.
Mm-hmm.
Like really. And okay, sure lah. I mean, okay, I don't want to blame everything on one person. Lah. It's ridiculous as a team game, lah.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you every game, right, have like a centre back not turning up,
Mm-hmm.
centre mid not turning up, a striker. Sesko, it's no fault of his. He tried.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
United fans, we are generally speaking, right, only in the social media, the clowns are not patient with our players.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think like Hiker and I, we support long enough to understand that things take time.
Mm-hmm.
Good things take time. So for someone like Sesko, I'm not even going to blame him. I feel his hold up play or whatever he did last game, right, was better than whatever Holland did the whole of last season in one game.
I think that's quite subjective, but I didn't see much of Sesko, to be honest. I can
He didn't
remember.
get much, like, there was not
Yeah,
much service to
then
him.
isn't that the same as
Yeah.
what Hoyland
It's the same
Hoyland
as
was
Holland,
doing
right?
last
It's the
season?
same as
But
Holland. So
But
Hoyland
the
plays
different the
better.
difference was, sorry, I'm just going to chime in a bit on this. The difference was,
yeah.
at least this time around they're actually looking for him. For example, like Mbuemo, Ahmad,
Mm,
they were actually looking for him. When Hoyland was there, right? He didn't show himself to receive the ball, but I feel that
correct.
Sesko actually did that a little bit more.
Demands are.
Yeah,
Mm,
he does that a little bit more. And of course, you are more conscious because your striker is taller. You know, you have a taller striker. Of course, you're a bit more
Mm-hmm.
conscious. So the balls were coming in. Unfortunately, it didn't reach him, but the balls were definitely going in, and we're trying to find him. But I guess, you know, he didn't have much choice. Maybe that's why you didn't, you know, see much of him, like, you know. So yeah,
Actually, that was a segue lah. So what I'm trying to say about the whole sport, right,
Mm-hmm.
was that if you continue to go down this hill and if you do not adjust, right, you have to change the man lah.
But I feel
By
like he's
adjust,
forcing it
but
because okay, I
he
got
is
something to
forcing, yeah,
throw back to you because we've had numerous conversations about this offline, and I know that you are a Ruben Amorim, a Red Army man till you die, and then Heikel is of course. Let's see how it feels. Do you feel that, like, for yourself and the segment of United fans that are really backing Ruben Amorim, that you guys are more in love with the man than the manager? Because here's what I feel, right? If this was Gareth Southgate and then Ashworth or whatever his name was, he got his way, and then you guys hired him, right? If he was responsible for your 15th place finish, if he was responsible for losing the Europa League finals, and if he is still responsible now for how you guys are turning out to be, a lot of people would have been asking for his head to roll if it was Southgate. But now there is
100%.
right. So I feel that you guys are just hanging on to something because this is a man that he probably gets the city. I wouldn't say he's like Klopp or anything, but he's the sort of person that has a personality, and then he can put things nicely that you guys are. I feel that for Man United manager to finish 15 is a sackable offense. He could have finished 17 for because Aston Villa had a disallowed goal that should have went in last season. Then Spurs were drunk because they won the Europa, right? So you guys could have finished 17, which means that that's just one place above the relegation zone. So do you guys? I think it's honourable that you guys feel that we should back the manager till the death. But I don't see, because I as a Liverpool fan should be very happy for you guys to keep Ruben Amorim based on my assessment that I do not at the end of last season I told so many of them I don't think this is working out. So but when I am part of something that needs discussion, right? I feel that this is not the manager, and I've said it so many times, but I feel like you guys gave him grace because he was new when he came in, but then you guys are giving him too much grace to the point that to certain segments of the fan base you guys feel that it's okay what's doing, like let's back, but there's nothing by every merit. I feel like Amorim has failed, whether it's an eye test, whether it's tactics, whether it's in-game substitutions. I feel like he has failed on every metric. So what is it for you that you cling on to this manager and feel like let's give him time? Because if you were to say let's give him time, this is the worst
I
Man United manager I've seen. No? And
okay.
of course,
So
you guys were going downwards, right? Because there's Ole and then Ten Hag finished, but Ten Hag finished eighth, and then we were saying not good enough. So where are you
so
guys with this thing?
So I still stand by what I said earlier on.
Mm-hmm.
I think in Game Week 1, where I said I'm still going to give him some time, but not he doesn't have much time, right? I think I said
Mm-hmm.
10 games, right? Or I know I said 10 games. So I still stand by that. But here's the thing, right? That I kind of understand. Firstly, a lot of people still want his head gone anyways
Mm-hmm.
now, right? Of course, there's half of us who are still gonna back him up, but the other half is still wants his head gone. But
Mm-hmm.
everyone's got to remember as well, right? Here's me being like very practical and being like centered, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when Alex Ferguson took over, he was in trouble as well. United was
Mm-hmm.
in trouble, and he had a personality. He's stuck by his principles.
Yeah.
He's stuck by his morals. He he got through it, and fortunately for him, United became legendary, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the situation that the Amorim is now is of course the pressure of like the modern age football and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I I feel when we talk about time, he still needs to be given a little bit more time.
Okay.
Last season was horrendous, and this season, um, he's got to do something, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
that's how I feel. Alex Ferguson took over United; they were bottom half of the table, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this year, this time that he has, right, he has to really show something. Of course, in these past few games, we haven't seen that, right? Eye
Mm-hmm.
test, he's making horrible decisions and everything. But a lot of managers do that as well. I feel a lot of managers do that, but because you are, because the light on him is so crazy, the
And
pressure is
rightly
so
so.
crazy.
I
Yeah, 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 for sure,
we
definitely.
can say a lot of managers, but rightly you are the Man
Yeah,
United manager. How are you going to
exactly. So
get out from the
so
spotlight?
right now he has to figure things out with his team. He has to figure things out with his coaching team and do something, because unfortunately for him, as a United fan, I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything. and I still stand by what I said. 10 games or maybe slightly more, depending on what's happening. But he doesn't have much time for me. So that's my take on this. I don't know. Like, yeah.
Now, like for myself, I thought that he would get the season lah, right? But after the after the City game, I feel like he probably won't get the season. Like he will get the Chelsea game. I think City,
Yeah,
Chelsea,
that's
like the
for
top
sure.
top four, the top six teams, right? You can still not say forgive lah. You shouldn't be forgiving him from a United, whatever lah. But the straw that will break the camel's back is games like Brentford and Sunderland that's coming up. These two
Yeah,
games.
exactly.
Yeah. So if let's say Chelsea game we manage to get a cheeky draw, right? It's at Old Trafford anyways, right? And Brentford game we lose, Sunderland game we lose, he's out for the international break. He's done. Like confirm one. How can you keep him? Right? Like these are the small games that will get him lah. Like, you know, with Ole was Watford, right? Ole was Watford, then
Yeah.
Ten Hag was West Ham or something. So I think the straw that might break the camel's back would be Sunderland or Brentford game lah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I don't know like how long I can like I tried actually I see what he's trying to do. I see the what this can do, right? The team, but it cannot be always have been what if what right? We're in a game of football, like other managers like they will adapt to the things around them. You cannot
I
be so rigid. Like that is my only complaint is you cannot be that rigid to the point. I understand you want to do things a certain way, which is good. But you need to buy
yeah.
time. By buying time, you have to win games. How do you win games with a bunch of players who do not know how to uh operate
Operate the
in
system. Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
And the thing is, right, you cannot like Jose once said, right, you know, like if you say so the quote was something along the line of you're an idiot, lah. Obviously, if you die on the hill, if it's not working and you say I'm not gonna change. Something along those lines. So as much as I like the fact that he is a bit hard-headed and stubborn in his way, personality lah, right? Which we have been lacking in the club for the last decade lah. Which like I can't remember post Fergie. I think the only one who had a bit of personality was Ole, because he was our club legend, anyways. But he was too friendly with everyone. So Amorim is a bit more like garang-garang side lah, like a bit more authoritarian. Ten Hag was too much. Ole was too relaxed, right? Ole was too relaxed. Then Amorim is in the middle, right? But you need to win games, man. Like it's
He
crazy
knows
that,
it.
and
He knows it
he
himself, right?
understand. He knows, you
Like
know.
that's
But
the
the thing,
only.
He
bro,
knows.
he
Like
confirm
He
know.
said about he said
He,
results dictates. Like he said
but
he
results
knows.
says
He
a lot.
knows. It's not an excuse. But the thing is, he said it's not an excuse. As a United manager, you cannot have these kind of stats surrounding you. And he
yeah,
understands and he
he's
knows.
when Heikel mentioned that Ferguson Ferguson had a tough time at the start as well.
Yeah.
So I pulled out some stats, not about Ferguson, but I pulled out some stats about Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim is now the worst Manchester United manager and has the worst record since World War II. Do you know how long that is? Ruben
Yeah.
Amorim has 8 Premier League wins in 31 matches. That is almost as good as a season. And it is not even hit the 10 mark. So this is why I feel that when Ferguson, people are always trying to draw the comparison with Ferguson, right? People have to
Mm.
realize that when Ferguson took over the team, there was no expectations. They didn't spend that much money to say like, okay, let's give him time. And because at that point of time it was all Liverpool, right? And United had that upward trajectory after Ferguson's success. But I mean, of course, you guys were successful here and there back then before we can see colors on TV and all that, right? But when there was lesser pressure, you can afford to give Ferguson the time. He was, but now you guys are this
But
team
but but
of
bro,
this
in saying
yeah.
that, I think Ferguson demanded so much more for United. That's the reason why we caught up to Liverpool, and that's the reason why Man U got so popular and
Mhm.
so big, right? And I can't take that away from him because like
Yeah, definitely. I
he
feel like credit has to be given, but I feel
mm,
it's kind of sad that people are trying to liken this Amorim phase to what Ferguson did, because it's nowhere the same. The Ferguson will not finish 15, and if Ferguson had finished 15, he would walk out of the club, I think, because at this point of time where you guys, like, I feel like you guys are trying to draw the comparison that Ferguson struggled, but no, I do not think for one that even in his worst time he would do something like that. As much as you guys are going to say you guys have bad players and all that, that team is the same group of players that Ten Hag finished 8 with, right? So to finish 15 and then to still continue to give him the grace, I feel that Ruben Amorim has now set a standard so low at Manchester United that some fans are willing to accept it and then are like, yeah, we must suffer. No, you guys are not supposed to suffer. Yeah, you guys are not supposed to win the league, or you guys are not supposed to finish top four, but you guys are not supposed to suffer like what he's making it out to be. And my hot take is, if you guys had hired Gareth Southgate, maybe you guys will not like how he looked like, because he doesn't have the personality. He's not going to say fancy things, but he would have finished, if helped you guys finish in the top 10 for sure, because he's a safe manager, right? But there's no
But
point
it's
being
like it's short-term
unsafe.
gain, yeah. Like it's
No,
short-term gain,
what
long-term
is
pain,
the
right? No?
long term gain here? You see, you guys, when you watch the City game, you said that you saw them playing well. I didn't see them playing well because Man City didn't get out of
Yeah.
second gear. I
No
feel
lah,
like
exactly lah. Yeah.
City was like, okay, after it was 3-0, it could have ended 3-2, like,
Like
because City
but
like just chilled right after that.
this long term game, I do have some thoughts on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like let's put it this way, right? Of course, at the end of the day, we will never know because it's not
Mm-hmm.
happening. The narrative could be different if he
Yep.
already, for example, United trash Arsenal, United
Mm-hmm.
trash Man City,
Mm-hmm.
and then United was winning right now. It would be different, right? So, for example, like an example would be like, um, like say for Liverpool, right? What if Slot got Liverpool so bad after taking over from Klopp? Then whose fault would it be? So
You know what I said when Slot took over? That if he did not finish in the
yeah,
top four with Liverpool after taking over Klopp, I said we should let him go, because
yeah,
there
yeah,
is
yeah.
that expectation of a club that I have,
So
that is, if it's not good, it's not good. You got to let go. You just
yeah,
cannot be
so
hanging on to it, saying
that's
like,
right. But you must understand
this.
that Liverpool is really like is is
Yeah,
is
that's why I said,
there, you know.
like,
But
if I'm
United
not
has been
champion, I cannot be fourth, anything lower than fourth. But you guys are
mm,
willing to say that if you're not Europa, then it can be 15. That's what my problem is with you guys and backing Amrim. It's like, it's okay that at the end of the season when he did that, you guys feel it's okay. And that is sad to me, because as a Liverpool fan, it's enjoyable. But as
mm,
a football fan, like, to see United fans feel it's okay. Of course, you guys are sad and all that, but you guys feel it's okay to be there and then take it, because there is a long term gain, in whereby in the short term, I've not seen anything to suggest that there is a long term gain. Not in style of play, not in tactics. The players are there. I can tell you, I would love to sign Cunha, Mbuemo, Sesko. I'm not very sure, but those two guys. So you guys have players that other teams will die for. So I think it's very easy to keep saying players, players, players. If players, you guys finish 8, makes sense. But if you guys blame players and then finish 15, it's not the players. It's the manager not getting the best out of the player. How can so
yeah.
many players turn out so bad?
Mm.
Is there, and you guys, okay, Cunha has been injured. Mbemo, he's trying his best. But this was a guy who got 20 goals last season in a
But
Brentford squad. I'm not
mm,
saying that he should have scored 5 by now, but at best, I see that he had a lot of chances against City, but those are chances whereby when City didn't give a damn about the game anymore. That's what I.
mm. But I think he has one thing that I feel Amorim has done well. He's gotten a lot of the bomb squad, the date
Out.
mates,
Yeah.
yeah, out, like, and I think of course the transition. I think Rashford said this in one of the interviews. He said, when you're under so many managers, there's a lot of changes. Of course, things are not going to go well, and things are going to be hard to adapt and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I think he getting rid of more of the dead weight, I think that was one of the issues where United was like, or not getting rid of all the dead weights. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's one of the reasons why United's downfall. So, but also, I think it's not only just the players' fault. It's not just the manager's fault. I think it's everyone's fault because like you know you're playing for Manchester United. As a
Yeah.
player, as a manager, you have to make better decisions, both equally. Player, you have to perform better. You have to turn up and you have to show you're playing for the badge. And we haven't had that in the past
Mm-hmm.
few years, or we haven't had that in the past few seasons because we had players who think they were bigger than the club. So I don't know. I just feel um it's a rebuilding phase for sure for United. And like what you said, of course it's unacceptable. As a United fan, not playing Champions League, that is bullshit for me.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just put playing Champions League aside, not challenging for the FA Cup and even the Carling Cup. I want that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it's bullshit that we are already out of the Carling Cup so early. So
Carling
to
Cup, this shows that you're old
you
and
know,
people be
so
like thinking, what is this
so
Carling Cup?
yeah, so like it's to me as a United fan, I don't think it's acceptable at all. But as a rebuilding phase, as a whole club, just looking at the club situation, understanding everything that's happening in the club, I can understand that the issues that we have runs much deeper. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, no matter how much I say Alex Ferguson is great, he has to take some of the blame as well for leaving United in such a bad state. I have to give it to Klopp, for
Mm-hmm.
example, because Klopp did an amazing job.
Mm-hmm.
Even Slot had to say that wasn't his team. That was
Yeah.
how amazing of a job he did. And I think Alex Ferguson didn't really do that. So this is just what's happening right now for United. It's for me as a fan, I truly don't know how I feel after that loss, to be honest. But yeah, man, maybe we can have a separate episode where we just talk about United. That would be
Mm-hmm.
great as well.
So, with that being said, we have to move to Man City in case Man City fans think that we are
No,
talking
no,
as
no.
though
Yeah,
they
let's do it.
did not do well. So it's a debut for Donnarumma. So what do you guys think of
What a
Gigi's
debut, though.
performance? Yeah, true.
I've got to give it to him, man. What a debut, man. We had the opportunity to sign him. Just
But I think the
so
wages
everyone
are
knows.
ridiculous
No, bro,
now,
the
right?
wages
For
are ridiculous. For
right?
Yeah,
you demanding
but
500K or
then,
some shit.
but then that
Cannot lah.
save from Mbuemo.
That's a
Oh,
class
mama.
save.
Like even in the corners, the way
Mbuemo's
he comes out, the way he comes out for the
amazing,
corners
bro.
and all, like
He was so strong.
it's cool, yeah. Like, but the thing is, right, like I was trying to see like how come PSG will sell him, right? Like with his like distribution, but the distribution was okay yesterday. Like the game,
I
I
mean,
think
like,
to
no,
be to be honest, his
there were a
distribution was
few
pretty
there
mediocre,
were a
bro.
mediocre,
few
but it's not bad. Though.
few
It's,
times
it's it's
whereby
it's just there, you know. Like he cock up, like he
his
put to the
distribution
left. I
went
remember,
straight to the
yeah.
guys. There were too many
Yeah,
guys, and
No, but the
especially
thing
if
is,
Luis Enrique, right? He wants a complete ball playing
yeah.
team. There is
yeah.
no way. And then if you are going to make like ridiculous demands for your wages,
Mm.
they're gonna let him go.
Also,
Then
also he looked very clunky on the ball. To be honest, like when he received the ball, Ederson would, like, how Ederson is such a baller. When he
Mhm.
received the ball is when Donnarumma received the ball, you could see like, hey, this guy can pressure. You pressure, he's gonna lose the damn ball. So I don't
No,
know.
but end of the
I
day,
didn't
like
really
bro,
agree.
I feel like a keeper should your main job as a keeper, you should be able to save goals
make saves.
and
Of
clutch in,
course,
you know.
for sure,
The
bro.
thing is, bro, we had what Andre Onana, the best fucking what the ball playing goalkeeper, plays like fuck
The
for 2 years, then goes to fucking Turkey, has the best game. I cannot stop receiving messages. Haha, United was the problem. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like that
they
fucker.
lost the games to and the opposite goalkeeper was
Edison.
Edison.
Yeah.
What again? But I'm
What?
still
It's
fixed. I'm not
bullshit lah. That
not
guy is
in
bullshit lah.
I'm not impressed by uh Donnarumma. Good saves.
Yeah.
But it's something that we know that he's capable of.
Yeah.
So there'll be bigger tests coming. You guys tested him once probably with that Mbemo effort, but there will be more Declan Rice free kicks to come, and then
But he showed he
everything's.
showed he sh- he showed strong hands though. Like, to be honest,
Yeah,
like
he's always had strong hands. It's
the
his
the
problem with collect. hitting the
The
ball
ball.
from set pieces, and you
Yeah.
guys didn't test that enough as well.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So in
Yeah.
that sense, I think like
I think
like,
apart from
but he
that, I
was a
think
good one. We can't say that he sucked or
no,
anything like
yeah,
that,
for sure.
right?
Yeah. But also I think City didn't turn up. I think City was playing counter against us, man, kind of.
Yeah.
You
Because
know, like and
they
and
didn't
and
they didn't
mm,
have to turn up.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
in my honest opinion, right? They didn't have to turn up. Although how is a derby game, and people are actually always like stoked because the excitement is there. But it was they didn't have to, like I mentioned earlier, they didn't have to get out of second gear
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
until when the Phil Foden for some reason plays against United and always scores.
Watch
And
him
but
being an
other
absolute useless guy for the whole of the rest of the season.
right,
And then the next
he
next time
was
he turns up, it's at Old Trafford.
Or
yeah
actually
Really.
even the whole game after he scored the whole game, he
yeah.
was like
There's
non-existent,
nothing
you
much.
know. But you got to give it to Haaland, man. Like what
Yeah,
like dude, like that's a striker, man. You know, finishing when they need to, getting the opportunity and putting it in the net. That second goal of his also, like he had to work for that, man. And yeah, man, but
I
India
think
just got no
Haaland and
aura.
Mbappe are probably the scariest strikers in world football at
Yeah,
the moment because they are the sort of people that can absolutely do that to you. Like when you guys consider the third goal, right? You
yeah,
can see Mbappe is exactly capable of that. Like he beats you for pace. I think Haaland and Mbappe are two players that are capable. Other standout
yeah.
performance for Man City obviously has to be Doku. Like you
Husanov?
guys,
Husanov had a good game, I feel. Like
Oh,
the right.
he had a
that
Yeah,
was
good
another
game.
Husanov.
area whereby I feel like you guys could have exploited if you guys were better because Kusanov, I remember
Wasn't he
he
right
make
back? Right
yeah,
back, right? Yeah,
is
right
He
back.
was playing right.
it
Yeah.
was the right back. So
Right back.
which I feel like you guys didn't exploit enough. So do you guys feel if after this victory, do you feel Man City are back
Bro,
because
United is capable of
they
bringing any back team back in
you
form, but doesn't mean they're back. Okay, anytime you
Man City has a long list of injuries as well, right? They have a lot of injuries. But
Mhm.
honestly, to me, I think they still need they still need to like work harder. Rodri
Yeah,
has
their
to get
backline
back.
is there.
Rodri has to get fitter. Rodri was horrible. I felt honestly Rodri was horrible.
I mean, it
bro,
takes time. I
bro,
don't
if
think
you think about it, right, like the first 20 25 minutes, right, we actually got past their backline a few times already.
yeah,
If one
but
of those goals would have gone in, like Embuemo one, Sesko, if one of those went in, right, completely different game, you know. So I
Yeah,
tell you, it's like when you play United now, right, it's like, when you play FIFA, right, you play on semi-pro or amateur, right, then wow, everything you win 5-0. But then right, in EPL, it's like legendary mode, you know, like the
yeah.
difficulty level. Okay, then you play semi-pro, you think you're fucking good. Then the next
But
game you
bro,
put in like kena fuck
I
3
play
0.
legendary. I play legendary. I wax, yeah. I
Bro,
win.
you,
Haikal is a different beast on the
like,
FIFA.
hacker is
But
correct.
bigger challenges will come for Manchester City,
Man,
and I
yeah,
think
that's
it's
true.
quite upsetting when it's a game like I'm a football fan, right? I watch any game, and then when it was a derby, I was like quite excited. I went
That,
to sleep late, although I'd work the next day, and then I was like, man, this feels like a
Oh, Medi
thi-
was
this
wrecked.
this this feels like a Chelsea West Ham kind of thing whereby it's so foregone that it was so boring, man. Like
Mm,
uh, even last season when you guys won 2-1, I think you take off that last 10 minutes. I think Man City were just bewildered by what happened when Ahmad scored two. I think, but the
mm,
rest of the game, you guys were not even there to 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 show that. That is why it
yeah,
was such a shock to Man City last season
yeah.
when you guys beat them. But what's coming up next for Manchester City is Arsenal, and then
That's
what's
gonna be
coming
a
up next for Man United is Chelsea.
Chelsea.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make an early prediction
Oh,
on these two
Scheiße.
games. First off, let's predict the Arsenal versus Man City game. I think it's at the Etihad. Yeah. No, it's at the Emirates. Yeah, it's at the Emirates. So Arsenal is at home. So what do you guys think the score will be? I'm going for
uh,
1-0 Arsenal win.
I'm gonna go for easy Arsenal 2-1. I think 2-1 Arsenal. They're gonna mop
But
City.
I am gonna go for 1-1 draw.
1-1. So there you guys heard it. We will come back again
1-1
on the
draw.
next week and look at this. So the other game that we want to give a prediction for is Manchester United and
Oh
Chelsea
man.
is at Old Trafford.
Easy,
So
easy. It's an easy game.
what?
Chelsea.
So what's your prediction?
Honestly, I think it's gonna
I
be a 2-2. I think it's gonna be a 2-2.
I'll be honest, right? I watched the Chelsea game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And the players are pretty good. I'll be honest with
Mm-hmm.
you. If we play, if I see Luke Shaw on the back line, right, then my prediction is going to be a 3-0 to Chelsea.
3-0 at Old Trafford. Even
I
I think
let, let,
I don't think it's possible, but
you know
Yeah.
yeah, it's your prediction.
like I give you an example, right? Buonanotte played, right? And he
Mm.
looks,
Bro,
even
he
though
looks
he
bad. We are going to go
no
into
no
the game
even
next
even
after
though
this. I'm not convinced by Bonanote
no
one bit
even though he didn't he got outbodied and stuff, right? He was in the game. He was in it.
because it's
And
Brentford, bro.
all the yeah, but like all the other, they were physical, bro. Like there were other
And
players around him
he was
who's
so bad that at halftime they took him out. So I
yeah,
don't see the Bonanote the Bonanote hype at all. I think it's
that was his first game lah, right?
yeah,
For
definitely.
Chelsea, right? But all the other players around him, right? Like I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna
3-0
three
still.
zero ah. Fuck 3-0.
3-0 to Chelsea.
3-0 to Chelsea, bro.
Huh?
If
I
if Luke
think
Shaw if Luke Shaw play, bro. If Luke Shaw play, bro.
I'm going for
If Luke
a
Shaw play, I
simple
cannot.
1-1 game.
Okay. I take my
So
thing back. I think it's gonna be United 3-2 win.
3-0, okay. So this
Oh,
this is going to be so we have a Man United win, a draw, and a
and I
Chelsea
lose
win.
I
So
can't.
let's
3-0.
3-0 ah.
Are you alright,
that's
mate?
how much faith you have us.
But I don't know what to
So
think already, bro. After that loss,
so
okay. So I change. 2-0. Chelsea win.
Oh my days.
2-0, 2-0,
What's
2-0.
happening?
we we
Okay,
will move into Chelsea's game against
let's go.
Brentford. The game ended 2-2. So Chelsea got packed back at the absolute last minute. I think a lot of people expected this to be a straightforward game. I think this game was at 3 a.m. Singapore time, so I was just up. So I decided to, okay, let me just watch it. And then it turned out to be a draw. So the entire first half, right, Chelsea were winning every single second ball like they had a magnet. It's so annoying to see that I was losing hope. Like I was like, okay, so no wonder people made it sound to be very straightforward until Jordan Anderson won the ball over the top.
To Shade, yeah.
Shadow, right? I've seen that a lot of times, and is a underrated aspect of Jordan Anderson's play. He's able to pick up that pass. I think you guys would have seen it against United as well. He did like a outside Trivela pass to Salah a number of years ago. So so Chelsea were a goal down at halftime, and then your player that you hyped up, Bonanote, was
Got
removed
subbed
for
off, yeah.
right, and then things changed for Chelsea. Cole Palmer came in, and Cole Palmer scored like I think within 5 minutes
Yeah.
or something like that, right? And then Caicedo scored. That
What a
was a
cool finish,
what a
though.
strike. What do you guys feel about Garnacho's celebration
Wow, bro, I
after
was
he
gonna go to that actually. I'll say, wow, what a fantastic performance in terms of celebration by Garnacho and being a piece of shit and leaving the back post unmarked for Brentford to score the second goal. And I absolutely thrilled by the fact I've never seen that guy celebrate like this when he even
he
scored like a
celebrated
screamer
like
for United. Like he won
he
Champions League,
celebrated
right?
like he
Yeah.
made the assist, but it was
Correct.
actually
It's
he
nonsense.
tried to
He
pass
hit the
and then
post.
it deflected
It
to the
deflected
Brentford
somewhere
player.
and like I do understand the then he celebrated like that. I was like, okay, very nice. Then
The
the
best
last
part
goal
is
also.
The Chelsea players were hyping him up when he was celebrating like that, as though he made that goal. It
Correct,
was a
bro.
ricochet
So,
of some defender
but I
before
tell you, next
Caicedo
week,
Wait,
starts
if
to.
he
wait,
come when he comes to Old Trafford, next week when he comes
Oh
to Old Trafford, right? If
yeah.
Euro is not going into start in right into that guy, right? I'll be like, game is gone, bro. Next week when he
wait,
comes,
who?
you gotta give one good pass.
Wait,
Bro, but here's what I
who's
feel, right?
Garnacho?
Hmm?
Alejandro.
Who?
Here's what I feel, right? It is more of a Amorim thing against Garnacho than the players. Like you are expecting Euro to go to starts in, right? I don't
Yeah,
think so. I believe like amongst them they are chill. Is
But bro, you
Amorim
cannot be
didn't
chill,
like
bro.
him.
You cannot be chill because
That,
if
but
you,
that's the
you know,
sentiment. But the players will be chill. I don't think like okay. I remember how a lot of people were feeling that Isak is Judas and all that, right? Then when they went on international break, they interviewed some of the Newcastle players. All of them were like, "It's chill. We understand. It's like a footballer. You're like a footballer. You have
yes,
ambitions and other things to do." So nobody felt bad about it. But I think what, like yeah, like Ismail said, then he didn't mark my ex-boy Fabio Carvalho to tap in at the death. When Caicedo scored, right, I swear I wanted to turn off the TV. I was like, shit, man, these guys came back.
what a
Then I
thumper
started
though.
to
Fucking
wash my
cool.
cups because I was having some drinks. Like decided to pack up the litter. Then I came back. It's like the whole game. Brentford were trying to get the long throws in,
right,
and that was what in the end
More towards the end,
undermined
yeah,
Chelsea right at the back. But I
yeah,
think for Chelsea there were too many changes coming off this game, man. I think we saw Bononote, we saw Hato,
Gittins
uh,
going back in.
we saw Gittens, and
Yeah,
then Fofana was trash that game, man. There
yeah.
are too many changes that I feel disrupted their momentum in this game. But shout out to Brentford though. Like for Brentford, I predicted a tough season for them, right? With the amount of players they've lost, manager they've lost, but to stick in and to continue to be in that game and to get something out of it, it was commendable. But for Chelsea, right? I feel like we were talking about Donnarumma, right? I feel they would have done well with a Donnarumma signing. What do you guys think? Because
yes,
Sanchez, you
mm.
you won the Club World Cup with Sanchez, fair enough. But Sanchez is not going to win you anything major. I feel he's so
That
shaky at the back.
that's the thing I was telling my Chelsea friends. I say, bro, how come the club never go for Donnarumma? It's a confirm immediate success, and in fact, you could have actually went for a title push in this season itself if
Right.
you had him.
I
Yeah,
feel like
it's a
he's a
very
good
strange, and the thing is,
keeper.
money is, but you know their philosophy, right? They only under 20, under 19 or under 20, they want to sign,
As of right now.
then want to
Yeah,
flip, right? They want to flip the
Mm,
thing. So I guess
yeah,
it's same as United, the cash portion, the wage was an issue.
mm,
yeah.
because
Here's what I feel about Sanchez, right? I think he he has just done good enough to kind of be there. You know,
mm,
he's just done
Mm.
good enough to just be there. Yeah, shaky for sure, but I think he is like he's better than, for example, who was the previous keeper? Kepa, was it? Kepa. They had
yeah, Kepa was there.
so I don't know. I think
My take
for
on Sanchez is he's a Brighton level goalkeeper, and that
mm,
they bought him from there, right? I feel
mm,
like it's like him, Verbruggen, and all of these players. They are good there, but when you put them in a bigger club, I don't think they have the minerals to do it, right? I really feel
mm,
Chelsea should have bought a keeper because their transfer window started out with a bang. They beat you guys and a couple of other clubs to sign Delap,
immediately.
right?
Yeah.
And then they went into the Club World Cup. They signed João Pedro, and everybody got
Mm.
excited. And then towards the end, it, like it just died down. I think the last day they tried to be bastards and gave a cheeky 40 million bid for Fermin Fermin Lopez from Barcelona. They should have signed a keeper. Chelsea now have 8 points from 12 games.
Yep.
Not 12 games, from 12, 8
12,
out of 12
12
points.
points. Yeah.
But they were 4 games that if you were to challenge for the title, right? Those are 4 easy games. Because when before the season started, when I was looking at their fixtures, I felt like they should win all 4. And then the Man U game was the game that I felt that was the difficult one going into the season. Of course, now when you look at it, they've dropped points, I think, quite unnecessarily. So I feel they will be in Europe for sure next season, but I don't think it's like a. I don't think they're gonna mount a title challenge. I might be wrong. I might be wrong, but with
Here, here-
Sanchez,
here's
yeah.
here's what I feel about the game, right? What a brilliant assist by Hendo.
Hmm.
But also you got to give it to Shade because he had to go up against two defenders and he put that
He's been
through.
doing well, man.
Yeah,
Right.
he put that through. So that was amazing. But here's what I feel about how Brentford play, right? I think they were really tight at the back and they were really compact. Chelsea had most of the ball, but then what happened was they tried to attack, and then that's where that two goals from Chelsea came in. They were kind of stretched, and
I
Chelsea
think
was
they
a
just
lot more
got tired.
space. Yeah, so
I
they were
don't.
stretched. Chelsea got more space and then they got in the two goal. But they were pretty fortunate and they did well enough to get back that equalizer and amazing job, man.
I think if Cole Palmer did not come on, right, I think Chelsea would not have found a way to get a goal,
Yeah,
because the minute he
yeah.
came on, he scored the goal, and he could have scored another one.
Yeah.
I think it was point blank save by Kelleher,
Oh my
but
god, we're gonna have Kopama at Trafford, man. Okay, maybe
mm,
Well,
I don't
that's the
like I don't feel
problem.
so bad
Every
about
time,
my
but every time like he play United also, right? That guy will pick form again. Every time, right? I don't understand. So
mm,
him scoring that goal, right?
Rúbens.
He comes to Old Trafford, right? He will create havoc, bro, I tell you. Of my 3-2 prediction, he'll be
Yeah.
scoring 2 goals. Garnacho will score an own goal, so that's the
Ooh.
3-2. That's how you're gonna win.
you
Oh
guys,
my god.
you know, right? You guys are like giving a lot of confidence to a lot of players like Foden, and then now Palmer. I'm telling you, Salah has had such a bad start to the season, right? If
Mm.
he was to turn up at Old Trafford tomorrow, 2 goals minimum. That is going to come against you guys.
But we are the rehabilitation center
Ah,
for confidence for the players of Premier League, bro.
for Premier
Mad.
Leagues. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Shit, man. Moving to another London side, Arsenal played Forest. It was a 3-0 victory.
Big
This
Ange
was
first game back as well.
this was
Mm.
straightforward. I think I was watching the game. Of course, I missed like a couple of minutes here and there. I can remember one Chris Wood ball hit the chest or hit the head, then hit the post. That was the most I can remember Forest did.
Yeah.
Like there was no other chances. But Arsenal did well, man. It pains me to say that they are
Yo,
looking
guys,
solid. They
guys.
are looking.
Arsenal's depth is
Oh yeah, Arsenal squad depth
crazy.
is.
I I was playing it off like for at the start of the season, and I was just like, okay, yeah, Arsenal will do Arsenal things and stuff. But Arsenal's depth is actually very scary. Odegaard had
Mhm.
an injury pretty early on in the game, and they continued playing like as if they didn't need Odegaard at all. Yeah, man, I don't know, like it's just too crazy. Yeah, I think
There
Arsenal.
so many players, like I think out. Like if you talk about important players, right? Bukayo Saka was out, so Madueke
Noni,
filled, right?
Noni turned up.
And
Yep,
then Odegaard is these days made out of glass, but he is also considered an important player
yep,
for Arsenal, right? He went out, and then Saliba has been out,
yep.
and they've had pretty much
Martinelli on
like
the bench.
a perfect start apart from the goal. You know what is crazy? Arsenal have not conceded a single goal from open play in 4 games.
Wow.
The only goal they conceded this season was the Soboslai free kick.
You
So
know,
I
you know
think
what's
that,
you know
yeah.
what's another crazy thing?
Hmm.
Martinelli is a Brazilian who has to look at the ball to dribble. I'm
but
sorry, man. Like,
but Martinelli, I think he's not
oh
going to
my
feature
god.
much because this game Eze started on the left.
Oh man.
A lot of I was hoping that when Arsenal bought Eze, right, he will operate bit more from the middle,
Centrally.
and then it's a bit it's a bit of course he's still new and all that, right? And then they're just trying to fit him where there are
He got an
holes
assist though.
to plug. Yeah, he got an assist. But what about thing like Mosquera? Mosquera had another brilliant game.
Yes,
Yep.
Do you guys think that Saliba should automatically make back the squad when he comes back in?
he will,
Because he's
but he
injured now,
shouldn't.
right?
He definitely.
Right.
he
I
he
feel
definitely
like,
will, but he shouldn't because Mosquera has like been like for a guy who just came to the Premier League, right? Like there's no like wrong foot though. Like there's no wrong foot that he has that much. He's good, eh. I was surprised at how good of a player for the price tag that he came at. He was what, 25 or 30, right?
bro,
Mosquera.
Mosquera cost Arsenal 13 million,
1
1-3.
3. My days.
Yeah.
What a bargain, man. That guy
So
good foot.
this is why now the Real Madrid fans are quite angry, because apparently they were looking at Mosquera as well. But with 1 year left on the contract, the cheap bastards that Real Madrid are were waiting for him to become a free agent. And then
Mm.
now that Rudiger is injured, they are looking at it like, look at Arsenal, they signed him for 13 million, and then we waited for him on a free. To think that it's 13 million is an absolute
Steal, man.
bargain, right?
It's a steal,
So
yeah.
that, shout out to whoever that's running Arsenal's signings,
Yeah.
right? The signings
Mm.
have been so good. I think bar Norgard, which I also think you can put a Norgard in like a Carabao Cup game and expect him to play well, right?
Mm.
Right. So I think they have addressed all their problems, that they do not have an excuse not to in my opinion win the. But here's what I feel, right? People feel that Liverpool fans are pushing it to Arsenal and putting the onus on Arsenal to win the league because we feel that they have enough debt. But
Mm.
then we feel that Arsenal fans are pushing it on Liverpool and piling the pressure on Liverpool to win because we made these expensive signings. But I feel that we are an injury away from Konate or Van Dijk for the season to derail. But I feel like Arsenal can, like what they're doing now, they have injuries. So who do you guys expect to win the league?
Ooh. If you're comparing Arsenal and Liverpool, or
Liverpool,
like
yeah. You just say these two teams. Who do you think are better positioned, and you will feel that if they do not win the league, it will be a disappointment.
I honestly feel, and I think you're not gonna like my answer, maybe, but I feel Liverpool
I'm
should be
fine with
there
it.
because, like, to be honest, you can play off the big signings. It's unfortunate that Liverpool did make big signings, and of
Mm,
course, there's when with big signings, of course, you're expected to perform, and we some Liverpool, like for example, Words is not performing and all that.
mm,
There's always going to be that pressure, and there's always going to be that talk,
mm,
that label that, oh man, this is a big signing and this guy is
yeah.
this way, and then Mosquera 13 million and he's like
Mm-hmm,
crazy. So the expectation for me, right, like I feel Liverpool has already been there, Arsenal hasn't been there,
mm-hmm,
meaning nothing against them not winning the league, always turning up second. It's more like Liverpool knows the game, they know how to pace themselves, they are champions, and they've been champions and they know what they need to do. So I feel that for me,
Liverpool.
I expect Liverpool to win it over Arsenal, even though Arsenal has that depth.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Ismail, what do you
and
think?
yeah,
I think I'm I think Liverpool also gonna be like
Mm-hmm. For
it's
the same
because
reasons?
no, it's because you see, they have the know-how, right? They know how.
Mm-hmm.
Like this team knows how to win. They have players who have won the Champions League. They have players who have won the Premier League before. They know what it takes.
Yeah.
Uh, I think that reason alone, I feel because yeah, like it or not, right? Arsenal players, right? Even like the last victory they had was the FA Cup win, right? Was it FA Cup?
Mm-hmm.
Then I think like a proper
I think
victory, like in terms of cup, when Arteta first came,
FA
right?
Cup,
You
right?
see, these guys, right? Actually, who? Like, name me one player in the team
I
who
don't
has
think
won
so. I
a
don't
league
think there's
before.
any.
Gyökeres, he has won it with Sporting.
Oh, as in, oh
Yeah.
yeah, as
So,
in,
like, if you're
but not
talking
as
about
the
Victor,
Arsenal team, right?
yeah. So it's simply because of the know-how, right? I think Liverpool will win again. Nothing else.
And
Like squad depth wise, Arsenal has better.
in my opinion, right, like as much as people say there's know-how, the know-how, I feel like we have lost a lot of players that knew how to win. Even as much as you want to criticize Darwin Nunes, he's a winner. He has won the league. There we
Yeah.
have lost Lucho, we have lost Nunes, we have lost Trent. I think that we lost too many players. But of course, but with that being said, I think that if Kanate and Van Dijk, which is I think is impossible, but I think if they can last the whole season, I fully expect us to win it. But I feel that it's
I
impossible for me to see a Konate. Van Dijk might last the whole season,
yeah.
but I don't think Konate is going
But
to.
man, I
And
don't.
then, yeah,
Sorry, I don't think you guys lost that too many winners though. To be honest, right, the people
bro.
that really matters, right, the people that really matters, right, even Robertson, right, you
Mm-hmm,
guys still have him, and I think that is very important. And I maybe Robertson has not been the best left back or whatever, or you know he might have like his problems and stuff, but like you have Salah and Van Dijk too. That I think that's the two huge like biggest figures you can have like champions that you can have in your team that will really help you and you have other people like people who actually seamlessly came into the team like Gravenberch, Gakpo, you know all these players right
mm-hmm. But we
they
cannot
actually
make.
help.
Yeah, we
Mm.
cannot make this. But when you mention the seamless part, we will keep it for the Liverpool game.
Mm.
So the Arsenal fans don't
Yep.
think that we are taking away.
Yup, sorry. But on back to this Arsenal and Forest game, I just got to say, man, Big Ange, unfortunate man, just took over the club 4 days ago, for a few, just a few days ago.
Mhm.
I think they had like one or two training sessions, and then you know they had to face Arsenal. Unfortunate for Big Ange, mate. You know, but I
Can you
think
imagine before we went off on a break for the
yeah,
international week, right? We said that one more such result for Forest and they might
yeah,
look to sack the manager. They
yeah,
didn't even make it. Nuno didn't even make it to then. They
yeah.
sacked him before that, and
Beef, bro, beef.
big. I felt that my personal choice for Forest would have been Jose, the great one, the special one, Mourinho.
Do
But
you
it
think
would
he'll
have
go
been
though?
too what do you call? It would be such a it's too different. The Mr. Marinakis, right? The owner of the club and Mourinho would have clashed all the time. I think so.
Yeah.
But if you look at Big Ange, I did not see it because Forest we know to be a team that sits back, right? And then
Mm.
counters and
Oh,
then it gets goal off like a Chris Wood header or something like that, right? To now flip it the other way around and take Ange. And of course, again, I test. We know Ange to be the manager that just likes to play a high line and attack, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
don't see why would they hire someone, especially you have started the season. If it was you had sacked him like before the season, you can give Ange some time to try and implement his attacking mindset to the team. But now I feel like Forest have too many players. I think one of the defenders was it Milinkovic or something, right?
mm,
They have a
yeah.
defender, right? That guy, I think during the international break also against England, he could not deal with a higher line. So he's
Mm,
a player that is used to sitting back. And then now you put a big Ange, he's going to suffer if Ange even tries to play that high line. So even of course we're not going to blame Ange, right? Like Michael said, it's 4 or 5 days before the game, right? So but I think if he had anything to do with it, you remember Jokeres goal,
Mm.
and then it was just a simple ball over the top, and then the Forest back line got undone by it. It
Yep.
was just an over the top ball. I feel like with Nuno, that goal would not have went in because his line sits back further down. As he would not have gotten the ball to just What a ball though from Ezzy.
Yeah.
First time, right, on the volley to Gyökeres. So
Let's
that,
see how Forest do. I think
yeah.
Big Ange needs some time as well, and I don't know.
So
He might
do you
surprise a lot of
guys
people.
think it will be a success, Big Inch in and Forest? I mean,
Nope.
of course, we are not talking about mad success, right? Yeah,
I don't think
I
so,
have like
bro.
my reservation,
I don't think so.
but
Like, why he could do with Tottenham is because of the players they had, lah.
Yeah.
But
mm,
bro, they had like fast players, man, at the centre back. So his highline bullshit could still work at that point. But like this Forest team, unless he decides to change, it's not gonna work out,
mm.
lah. Yeah, it's not gonna work out for me, lah.
Unless they
From
keep him to the next season, they might keep him until next season
Just
because
to win a
usually
trophy,
Big
yeah.
Inch, Big Inch
but
wins
for me,
something.
I'm unsure yet. I do like for the Forest team, to be honest.
Mm.
I see some, like, there's really a lot of like potential players there that they can play, like, um Henderson and Anderson,
Uh,
sorry.
Elliot
And
Anderson, yeah.
yeah, he's pretty good. So like I do see some potential, but I don't know how Big Ange will do yet. Probably in the next few games I can kind of tell you how how I feel about Big Ange.
Elliot
But yeah,
Anderson
man.
is one player I feel like in 1 to 2 seasons he will be out of Forest because
Mm,
I saw him play for England as well. It was quite impressive. So I think he's like him, Wharton. These guys are going to be out on
yeah.
their way to bigger clubs soon. So
But
moving from
sorry,
one, yeah.
just one more shout out before we move on. Zubi Mendy, amazing game, man.
Oh
The
yeah, that
goal,
first goal.
the second goal. But I think he played a really great game again. Yeah, I like the depth. If Zubi Mendy wasn't there, Declan is there. So it's, yeah,
Mm.
Arsenal
One
just
more,
Uh,
one
crazy
more
thing.
thing to touch about Arsenal, right?
Mm,
I wanted to ask you guys about this. Now of course, we saw the midfield of Zubimendi, and then there's Declan Rice and all that. What do you guys feel about Tony Adams' statement on Martin Odegaard should not be the captain of Arsenal Football Club, but rather someone like Declan Rice who is available week in, week out? Do you guys feel that Odegaard is the right captain for Arsenal?
I don't think Odegaard is the right captain for Arsenal.
Ismail, you?
I don't think he's the right captain for Arsenal.
Who would you guys give it to?
I would either give it to, for me right now, I would either give it to either
Gabriel
Saliba or Gabriel.
Magalhaes. Gabriel Magalhaes for
Either
me,
Gabriel,
Saliba or
man.
Gabriel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
that's the
apparently
two option I
it's
have.
selected by the Arsenal
Players, right?
players,
Mm.
and then when they make a big hoo-ha out of it, I don't think it's that big of a deal for Arsenal players to select Odegaard because he's the captain, right? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
think that they will go in and say no, we don't want this guy anymore. It's like
Mm.
camaraderie, right? They've formed this. Even though they do not feel he's suitable, I don't think there's gonna. And even if they feel there's someone better, I don't think they're going to go up there and say, yeah, we don't want to vote for
Yeah,
him.
yeah, for
So I
sure.
think it's a continuity. But to me personally, I always like a midfield captain. So I would just give it to Rice. Like Rice is
Mm,
Mm.
there game in, game out. You know that you are never going to get a six 6 out of 10 game from Rice. You know he will put in the effort
yeah.
regardless of whatever games, right? So I feel like, yeah, that was just something interesting for Tony Adams to say that. Like, I don't see like Odegaard grabbing Arsenal out of the mud if they are in one, but I can see like a Rice, a Gabriel, if Arsenal are struggling, to be the guy that pulls the rest and say, "Hey, wake the fuck up!" Right? I don't see Odegaard is
I
capable of
think I
that.
think like Gabriel really demands a lot from the players as well. Like you can see from the
Mm,
corners, like even when they're going for when they're attacking the corner, you can see
mm.
like he's the one like marshalling and like, So I can see a Rice or Gabriel like being that person as well.
But bro, like I feel
Moving
like a good
from
team, right?
yeah,
Sorry, sorry. One more thing. I feel a good
yeah,
team,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
has
carry on.
captains everywhere, you know. So a backline has captain. Like if you remember, like last time
For sure.
we did your Rio, they were. I'm talking about like the winning United sides, right? In the midfield, we had Carrick. So every place has a captain, and at that point, the captain
Yeah.
armband just becomes like a what's the term? What am I trying to say? It's just like just there for the fun of it. Other than Roy Keane. Roy Keane was
Formality.
the only captain, formality's sake, right? I feel like if
Yeah.
the Arsenal team has that cohesion and the trust among each other, so I guess the captaincy doesn't really matter as much as it did in the
It doesn't
past.
matter in that.
I feel lah. As much
Yeah.
as it did. Like what it matters
Unless
to
you're
teams
captain,
like United because we are shit, right? Like so we need the
unless your
proper
captain is
captain.
Bruno, I mean,
Correct. So you need
But nowadays there's a lot of the leadership
yeah.
group,
All right,
correct. They
boys.
have
Let's
leadership
let's
group.
move on to
Yeah.
the next game.
which is
Let's
from
move
big
on.
Ange, one new big Ange team to all big Ange team that is now more successful. We saw West Ham after Graham Potter felt like he was going to save his job by winning last week against Forest 3-0,
Yep.
and then this time round they lost to Spurs
I
3-0. Yeah,
can I kick off this
yeah,
game? Okay,
yeah.
apart from Xavi Simons' debut game, I think
Mm-hmm.
he did quite well.
He had
I
an
think he did
assist,
good.
right, from the
Yeah, he had an
corner.
assist as well. But I think it was a pretty straightforward game for Spurs. They won 3-0. But my question was this, right, when I was watching the game. Decisions by VAR and referees again, man.
Oh yeah, I
I
think there was a
am
disallowed goal, right?
I am so bummed out by this. I'm like, I get so annoyed because like you get to see, like, VR gets to see everything in slow motion,
Mm-hmm.
right? Referee gets to see it in real time. If you guys come to the same conclusion, I get it. But
Mm-hmm.
how is it like you can't come to the same conclusion and then you see that there's nothing and then you give something? Like, again, I felt that it was a bad decision by both the ref and the VAR. Like in the 19 minute, Van der Ven pushed Kyle Walker Peters,
Yeah.
but essentially it wasn't Van der Ven who pushed Kyle Walker Peters. Oh, sorry, it
Yeah.
wasn't Kyle Walker Peters who pushed Van der Ven. Or it was a keeper who pushed, and then he had no choice but to, like, he was already moving forward and then accidentally pushed Van der Ven, and Van der Ven went down. So I really don't get these decisions, man. I felt it was a bit unfair. These
I feel
decisions
like
for any
I
team,
heard
for any team.
I heard like on one he's not really backing the referee, but I felt like they mentioned this. They mentioned that sometimes it's just your luck. Okay, just say today you have a game, right? You want to look for a referee, and then the referees available, the referees that are available is Ishmam and myself. So either one, you get either one. Ismam might feel that something is a foul, and I might not feel that is
That's
a foul.
mm,
And then when you take Ismam in instead of me, because
mm.
that game you assigned to Ismam, you are not going to get the decision because it's just that he feels that it's a foul.
Exactly,
Right. So I
exactly,
think it's very difficult for them at this point of time. I do not back the referees. I think VAR is doing such a bad job. But I think
exactly.
this is why there is the discrepancy. Like some
That's
people feel it's a
that's
foul,
that's
some
that's exactly how I feel, bro. Like we all are different people and we make different decisions. That's fine. That's
yeah.
that's what a referee is supposed to be. But when VAR comes into play and you
Mhm.
can see everything nicely and in slow motion and everything, like,
Yeah.
then you get to this. You have to decide whether it's too dangerous, whether it's an actual foul, whether it's this guy is doing this or this guy is doing that. That to me is ridiculous. How the intervention of VAR is making the game, to me, of worse. I don't mind with the ref's decision, like, or maybe Ishmael will give it and then you won't give it. I get
Mm.
it. It's that is human error and that's human feelings and stuff. I get it. But when the VR you come in and you, like, do this, I feel it like disrupts the game and it's like,
Now that you
I
guys are on the topic of it, right? So do you guys feel you want the VAR or no?
I think it's a good thing. I think VR is actually a good thing. But the people running the VR, like, who's in the bloody room wearing, don't wear your shades, bro. Take out your shades. Like, you use your eyes to look. Like,
Too bright.
yeah,
Isman,
like,
what about you? You
I
are
don't know.
you if
There
you had
has
the
to be a
chance, do
doctrine
you
now,
want the
bro.
VAR to be removed?
No, I will keep
No,
it.
you
But
don't be
there has
so
to be a
political here, Mr. Pretending.
no. I wouldn't.
So
I
will
wouldn't.
you keep VAR? Oh,
I
you
will
wouldn't
keep
keep VAR, so
VAR.
you will
Mm,
scrap it.
No.
Or
I
you
will
will
keep
keep.
VAR. But there has to be a doctrine
mm.
whereby, right, it has to be consistent. And it has to be in black and white.
Yes.
You cannot lancha away say this one today, then tomorrow, or one game like that, or the next game like that.
Yes,
Cannot, bro.
exactly.
So
It
this
has
is
to be
what
in black
I'm
and
saying,
white,
bro.
consistency.
The problem is it cannot be black and white because two people interpret things differently. Like you might feel it's a foul, and okay, for example, like if we go back in like last a few weeks ago when Fulham had a disallowed goal, right? Some people
Mm,
might feel it's a foul because he stepped on the defender's leg, and then there's going to be the other side of them that feel like, hey, it's not a foul, it's just the motion. He stepped on the defender's leg while he was trying to turn. So I feel like it's very difficult to come to a black and white. So I feel like as long as there's VAR, right, we are going to have these problems. Unless you're going to use VAR for a straightforward thing like offside. Okay, now we're
mm,
only going to use it for offside. So
yeah.
let the referee make every other decision. If
Yeah, I
not,
think
I don't
that
think there
will be
is going
better.
to be like
Like there was
there will
this
be any
podcast they
form
were
of
saying,
like
right? Like, sorry,
mm,
they were saying that they should get ex players as consultants for VAR,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
mm, mm.
While they're making, because right,
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
referee who has not played the game in that level, right? They don't know that sometimes it's just like it might be a foul, it might not be a foul, right? So they were saying hire ex players as consultants during VAR, but also how like which ex player want to go to the room and just like it's a bit. But maybe those
Yeah.
players who like couldn't make it professional, like I don't know lah. I mean, they can work something out lah. But experience does matter when it comes to this kind of things lah.
So VAR aside, what is not uh, going to be under review soon is Potter's job. Potter's job after the magnificent 3-0 victory last week. He's back down with another 3-0 defeat.
Yeah.
It's I think even before the red card, right? I think they were just staying in the game. I felt like they did not have any owners like playing home. I think Spurs were definitely the better team
Yeah.
until another set piece goal conceded by West Ham. Xavi Simons cross and then Sa headed it. Sa, right? Sa was the one who scored the
Yeah.
first goal.
But
And then it went all downhill in the second half once Suchek got a red card. I felt
yeah.
like it was a red card, no doubt, but it was very unlucky.
Yeah,
I felt like
like
he
he's a good guy lah, bro.
uh,
You know, he is not a nasty guy
he
lah.
he's not like some Vinnie Jones dude trying to
Yeah,
injure
Yeah.
anybody, right? It's
but
just a red
reckless
card.
lah.
Yeah, it was a
It was
reckless one. And then after that, I think like less than couple of I think maybe 2 minutes at most or 5 minutes, whatever it was, Bergval scored the header, and then from then on, it was over for West Ham.
you know
I
Yep.
think
they call
they
Spurs the fine sheet FC. Really, go Vanderven lah, Bergvall lah, Romero, all good looking for that. Fine sheet FC. That's what they have become, though.
what about Richarlison, bro? Do you feel like
Oh,
Richarlison is a fine shit?
Hmm.
Mr. Pigeon.
Bergval had a fantastic game. I
Yeah.
think he also
He
made
did.
made the goal. I think this season we will see the Bergval that was, or Berryval. The commentators always pronounce it as Berryval, so I think it's Berryval lah, kan. But I think like this season we will see him shining more than last season, because last season I felt like he had to cover too many positions
Mm.
Mm.
because of injuries. I think they played him more than they would have liked to last season. But this season, I think he will be. I think Thomas Frank knows how to use these kind of players, right?
Yep.
Where's Berryval from? He sounds like a very Nordic name.
He's a Swede, no? I
Then
think.
Thomas
Swedish.
Frank has all this experience, the
Mm.
Norgards, the of handling Damsgaard, all these players, right? So Thomas Frank will be will be will be very very capable of using him. But what Thomas Frank has done brilliantly, moving from the days of Big Ange, is to shore them up defensively.
Yes.
This is now the third clean sheet out of 4 games for Spurs, which you would never have seen under Big Ange, right?
Mm.
Gung ho, high line, everybody presses forward. Thomas Frank has the 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 brilliant mind, and I think what was refreshing, right, is he's very open to say that we need to be defensive when needed to be. Like, of course, a team like Spurs, of course, even for a team like Liverpool, Man U, City, all that, right? We want to hear that our managers want to attack, correct? But this is
Mm.
a manager that's now talking about we need to defend. So I think this is where it's making a lot of difference for Spurs. So they've lost one game, right? Yeah,
Mm.
they beat City.
They lost to Bournemouth.
Yeah, I think that was the only game I felt that they were not convincing, and Bournemouth totally deserved to win that game. But this game, like, it feels like it's clicking, and then now you got Xavi Simons, and I think it will get better because I mean, if we ask Meat, he's not going to agree lah, correct? As an Arsenal supporter, but it feels like it will get better because they still have what Kulusevski to come in, they still have Madison to come back in.
Solanke, I'm not sure.
Yeah, so you can see a very good season from Spurs. Like,
Mm.
I feel like
They have a very solid backline. Like I think that the backline has been playing for together for quite a while, and then with the introduction of Jet Spence,
mm,
and also right,
oh,
we gotta
yeah,
give credit to Vicario as well. Vicario also like pretty
it's
good
a
Like I
solid
think he's a
keeper.
very good keeper. I think he gives the backline confidence, and that actually pushes the backline to kind of perform at where they're performing right now, playing together as well. Pedro Porro doing an amazing job right back, and then of course the central pairing of Romero and Van der Ven. Of course, these two, if they stay injury free, I think they could really
But
like be
but
solid.
that's what I feel like could derail their season. Much like how I spoke about just now, right? About
Mm,
Konate is surely to be injured. I feel Van de Ven and Romero are those type of players too. They
yeah.
are
I
surely
mean,
to get.
as long as they're not injured right now, I think they're riding quite high with this back four right now. With Jet
Mm.
Spence doing incredibly well as well, and he got his debut for the international team as well. So
Kudus so desperately wanted to score. Did you guys watch it? He
yeah,
tried his
Yeah, I bought
best
him in
he
to.
my
tried.
FPL last week. You see, this is what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah,
Every
He
time,
tried.
bro. I kept having good points for Kudus until now. You brought him in, bro, and then
Bro,
suddenly
I'm
this
the
week he's
curse,
like,
bro. I'm the
he,
curse, at
he
this
has
point.
like three points only. But on the other side of it, now is game week 4, so I have 6 more games before Potter gets sacked. Now I'm trying to think. I think Potter in 8. I believe Potter in 8 is my new prediction. They will sack him by the 8th
Oh
game
man.
because I think they are now they've they are winless at home for 7 games.
Mm,
Even when they beat Forest, I think they were away, which
Mm.
was also quite surprising.
Mm.
The players that they have, like much like to what I talked about United, right? The players that they have, I feel should not be this bad. I feel they have good players, but I feel that like it's a wrong manager. Like after the game, Potter asked for patience, because I don't see how they will be patient because they have more walkouts from the fans than points at this point in time. I
mm,
think like almost every home game, right before the end of the game, fans are really out of the stadium, man.
yeah.
I think it's quite sad when those things happen, right? I think, and thankfully for Amorim, it has not happened yet. I think when
Started
fans
already.
start when
City game.
fans start to walk out before the game ends, right, that then the writing is on the wall. I feel like as a honorary West Ham supporter over here, I feel I have no patience for Potter. Sack the guy now.
Wow.
We've seen enough.
Intense.
We've seen enough, man. Come on, like, do you really think Potter is going to? This is my honest question to both of you guys. Do you think Potter is going to work out at West Ham?
Nope. I don't think so, man. I think now what West Ham is like Jose Mourinho, man. Come in, stable the ship a bit,
I'm not
then sack him.
surprised if I'm not surprised if they get him, right?
Yeah, I think he'll
Jose
be a good
Mourinho.
because defensively they very leaky right now. So I think like having someone like Jose, he will come and steady the ship, and as usual, quarrel with the board next season and gone now.
But their board is not so, like, you don't see their manager like our dear Mr. Marinakis coming out, their owners coming out
Yeah,
and
yeah,
say
yeah.
like But at the same time, I don't see them publicly backing Potter. So I think he's going to be out the door soon, because he cannot seem to he cannot seem to find an identity for the squad, right? Because when we think of Graham Potter, like our our best thoughts about him are his Brighton times,
Mm.
right? And then there was a field project at Chelsea, and then now at West Ham. So I think this will just go on for like another few game weeks, and then they are done because they have good players, like off the top I can think of Paqueta, Bowen, and then some. But there one thing that West Ham need to do right is let go of this damn keeper, this Hermanson dude that I think they signed from Leicester. I don't understand why Ariola is not playing. Is he injured?
I have no idea.
Right, it doesn't seem to
Not
be the
sure as well.
case, and then they get this
Fabianski also, right? Fabianski used to be the keeper also, right?
Fabianski. I think just signed a new contract, like a short-term contract. I think even they are looking at this keeper now and are wondering, is this keeper right for us, right? So it's looking bad for West Ham. I don't think they will be relegated because they're too strong for that. Especially if they can kick Potter out ASAP, get somebody to steer the ship, and then I think they'll be fine. But I can see them finishing like a 15, a 14 kind of thing. So
Mm.
moving
Yeah.
on from that straightforward game is another game that was not straightforward for Liverpool. So at Burnley, Burnley 0, Liverpool 1. It took a 93rd minute, I think, Salah penalty to 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 secure the results for us. What do you guys think of this? Because I don't have much when it comes to this game. So what do you guys think of this game? You guys watched it, right?
Mm.
Yeah. So what do you make out of it?
Ishmael, you want to go first or you want me to go first?
Uh, you can go first.
I expected Liverpool to demolish Burnley, to be honest.
Same.
Um, I get it. Burnley set at home, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and a lot of people are actually unhappy and saying how like, oh, just because Burnley held Liverpool, then now they're like, everyone's sympathizing with them. I think they did what they had to do. If you look at the quality of players that they have, I'm not surprised that they did that.
Mm-hmm.
Brentford did that for a bit against Chelsea,
Mm-hmm.
and they were lucky to get away with that point. Burnley almost got away with that point as well. So I understand with I kind of understand what Scott Parker was trying to do with the players that he have, saving his better players or some of his better players to come on later and try to see if they can do something. But in saying that, they did have chances where they actually were going for it, and but of course most of the game they stayed back. I just feel that Liverpool should have wrecked them. Um, if Because like who was performing for Burnley? Probably Cullen, their captain.
Mm-hmm.
He was a menace, man. He disrupted Liverpool at every point he can. Um, he to the point that he also was. I think he was subbed off. He didn't play the full game. He got subbed off. I think maybe he was too tired or whatever. But yeah, man. That's how I feel about Burnley. I think people shouldn't be like, man, like they just tried to do what they can lah, to
Mm-hmm.
get a point off the champions, and even though it was a boring game, to be honest,
Yeah. True.
um the thing that stand out to me was um I had two things that stand out for me, right? I think words is still very weak. Like I think
Mm-hmm.
me and Maddie, we spoke a lot saying how like this will never change, because even if it's a whole season, it will never change, because like, he will never put on that muscle or whatever. But I think he has to figure out how he's going to be more effective for the team. He has to figure out to play in a different way, um if he's not going to be physical. And I was also a bit upset by Kirkes for the flop,
Mm-hmm.
bro.
That's
I felt that flop was NBA level flop,
LeBron, LeFlop James.
flop James kind of level. It was a bit, haven't seen that in quite a while. Like I get it if there was actual like contact and stuff, but that was so obvious that it was so bad coming from Kirkes, who is actually known to be a physical and strong player and stuff. And but yeah, man. Again, Liverpool grind it out. They got the win. Good for them. I think that's what champions do. That's what you need to do to win. Of course, Burnley made it hard for them. But yeah, man, I just expected Liverpool to demolish Burnley. That was my thoughts.
Likewise for me also lah. It took Jamie handball from our United,
Ah,
Your boy.
our boy Hannibal but it's like I do understand the handball. It's so blatant. Like, why is he putting his hands like? I'm like, oh my days.
he
And
knew
like,
it, man. He
Yeah,
knew
but
right.
it.
The
the thing
minute
is, right? Then after that, he wayang 30 seconds. Like he like he
cover the
just
face.
he like had his face like that. Then
Yeah.
it was actually funny lah. Like they like look at all the crowd. Then the crowd also like, what the hell just happened, right? Then like, and Salah, he's not gonna miss. Right? But
I
at the
have a
same time,
different point about Salah, when it comes to
what?
penalties.
What about?
I feel like when he was going to take the penalty, right, I wasn't sure whether was he going to score or not. Although he's clutch, everybody says he's clutch and all that, right? Salah doesn't have a proper technique when it comes to taking penalties.
I think that's
I
what makes it unpredictable, lah, bro. I
he
think that's what
just
makes it like.
blast it when you look back right at the penalty. Of course, now it went in, it looks very nice and all that, right? When you look back, if the keeper dived the other side, he would have saved it. I feel like it wasn't like at a corner. And I've been on the page whereby Salah shouldn't be our first penalty
Oh my god, I
taker.
was just gonna say the same thing. Yeah.
Like
Who would
I,
you give
I
it to? Soboslai?
yeah,
No?
Soboslai. If you look at his penalties, right, it's always tucked in the corner, and he will go to the same corner all the time.
But you cannot
And
do anything about it.
yeah, because so there's technique, right? But Salah,
Hurricane-ish. Yeah.
technique is like, let me just blast this where I can, and then the 1-2 times where you will try to position, and then it goes over the bar. So I was quite worried when
Yeah, you know who I feel should be a Liverpool penalty taker. I think
Mm.
McAllister should be the one taking as well. Like I think he has the technique to put the ball into the net, and he's quite good at placing, and he's got a shot in him as well.
McAllister. Yeah, I think he's quite depend. But I think he missed the last penalty.
Mm,
If I'm not wrong, I think it
mm.
was the. If I'm not wrong, I might be mistaken. Hello, Sophie.
Hey,
Hello.
Yeah, but again with penalties, I think you have to kind of keep on taking them to kind
Yeah,
of to get
but
better,
I
and
mean,
also.
shout outs to Salah though. I mean,
Yep.
there's a lot of pressure, right? Because
Yeah.
if you miss that, and he's missed a couple of our recent penalties, right? So I think that speaks. He was not in the game at all.
Oh
He had
yeah.
such a poor game, and then to still
Yep.
have the mentality to step up and then slot it in and get us the 3 points was crazy. But I do not think that we deserve the 3 points. Like if you ask me, because I felt like Burnley were very resolute in defense and we just couldn't find a way to break them down. But with that being said, I don't think Burnley deserved anything out of the game because Ellison faced zero GAs, so there was nothing
Yep.
on his goal at all. Like he could have went back home and then came back after like a lunch or something. That was, and then I still think he would not have saved anything because prior to the game, I already told the guys in the Liverpool group chat that I know how Burnley is going to play. They're going to look for Jaden Anthony, who is a speedy player, right, in the team,
Yep.
and we dealt with it throughout the whole game. I think Burnley had 18% possession. Here's what I feel like as a football fan, right? Like it's so annoying to watch these games, and as much as you want to root for them that they are the
Yeah.
underdogs or the smaller team, it's so annoying to watch a game like that, like especially coming off an international break, and then it's your home game. Like the fans are coming there, okay, maybe they have like lesser expectations out of the game and all that, but for them to come into the stadium and just watch that, I feel like it, if Liverpool's defense can be there for the taking, we've seen it throughout the first three games, right? Although Arsenal did not manage to break us, I feel like if Burnley tried something, they could have gotten like a corner or a set piece that they could have put the ball in and test the defense a bit more. But they decided not to do anything. So, which is why I was more than happy that we won. What for the people who were saying that Liverpool needed a penalty? What makes you think that we have done this all season long? Just somehow find a goal. What makes you think if the penalty was not given that Liverpool would not have sucker punched further by scoring in the last second? It's possible, right? Because when the minute we put a Rio in, and then Rio was threatening. I think Rio had a more productive game than even Gakpo had the entire game. I think and Rio was there. I believe that Slot should make these changes earlier. I know that Rio is young and all that, right? But it's time to put Rio in earlier, because we can see the minute he was in, when him and Frimpong came on, he had that pass, but the cutback to Frimpong, and then
Yeah.
Frimpong had a shot. That was, I think, like one of our best chances in the game, and that itself was like 80 odd minutes, close to 90. So yeah, do am I worried about how Liverpool are playing at the moment? Not really, because this is coming back to what we were talking about somewhere in the during the Arsenal game segment, right? For sure, we have lost players that knows what it's like to win the league. With that being said, what I feel that there's Van Dijk is not affected at all by this. Salah is affected by Trent no longer being there, because Trent knows exactly when to find Salah, when to release the ball. But now with all these signings, right, we are operating more on the left side. That I do not I do not know. Of course, it's early days. I do not know how they want to bait in Salah with the whole new thing. Everything is going on the left, because Verts is someone that likes to go onto the left. So as much as he's not having the best of games so far, we are still trying to accommodate him, right? So that will go towards the left. Gakpo will touch the left. Then when Kirkes, until he decided to dive like Michael Phelps, he is operating on the left. Ekitike is someone that will go on the left. And when Isak comes, right, he is going to move towards the left. So there is a whole new gameplay that, even whether you want to call them pass winners or whatsoever, Salah is not used to being here to play at this. I think like 4 games. I think his combined touches of the ball might be less than 200. I think so, because that's how much that we are moving to the other side. So it's going to take time to gel for all these players. But 12 out of 12 without gelling, it it is a good thing, right? Somehow they've managed to grind out victories and all that. So I think well, a lot of people, what I could not understand were Liverpool fans that were crying out when Isak was not on the bench. Like, he did not have a preseason. What do you expect? You think Slot is going to play him? Remember how Chiesa was used last year? Slot
Yeah.
barely wanted to use him at all, right? So, like he said, Isak is signed for 6 years, not 6 games. So it will take time. So even like I think Ekatike, after 2 great games, the last 2 games has been quite ineffective. But again, it's new players. To me, my special shout outs for this game, whereby we didn't do much, has to be Gravenberg. Some of
Oh,
the some
amazing
of
guy.
his touches, some of his gliding through the, it was
Crazy.
amazing. Even his like
Crazy.
back heel pass to Kirkes before Kirkes thought that he will get a penalty by diving, right. It was amazing. And the other shout out for me has to be Andy Robertson, because when Kirkes signed, even Liverpool fans, even myself,
He
at the
was a
back end of
threat, man.
last season, I said that, Robo's legs are going, And then when Kirkes had a yellow, and then we felt that he was too emotional, he might get a red, Slot subbed him out, right? I think in the 30 plus minute, Robo came in, I think did quite well. Although with that
Yeah,
being said,
he
there
was a
was
threat.
nothing to face. Like as a
Mm.
defender, there was nothing at all to face in that game apart from one, two headers when the ball came, right?
I
So
got a
that
I got a question for you, Matt. Like,
mhm,
and again, you might not like this question, or maybe Liverpool
mhm,
fans might not like this question, but I've got to ask, man. Like, I'm not too worried about Salah, bro. Salah has been, to me, Salah is a he can ghost the whole game and yet still be very
yeah.
effective. But here's me watching Liverpool, these past 4 games. Like, we gotta address this, man. What do you think about words with his price tag? Like, how long do you think we should give this time for him to get into the game, to adapt, because he was bodied again, right? Again, he was bodied.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe not as bad, but he was still bodied. And instead of like, again, we talked about this a lot. Like, instead of him trying to be physical, I feel like he should do something, right? Especially with, like, Burnley sitting down, sitting back, and not doing anything. He should, like, do something to try, like, break that apart. I think that's what
Mhm.
he's supposed to do. That's what he's
Yeah.
supposed to be, right? you know and I think, like, what you say, like, maybe because, like, Trent used to feed Salah, he could be the one to be doing that now. But it
Mhm.
seems like he's really not effective right now. And again, I get it, he's new, but, like, what do you think, man, with the
I
price
think
tag, with the time, that how much time do you think you need to give? And again, he's not like a youngster, he's already pretty world class, he's already a pretty well known player. So I
but
don't know, what do you think?
he's still 21. Like I agree to every fact that Words has been quite underwhelming. I think in the 4 games that the only time I was quite sort of impressed was the second half against Arsenal. But apart from it, like, yeah, I'm not going to look at the price tag. Like, I will never look at the price tag for any player, not just because it's a Liverpool. Much like how we always disagree when Graham Son has made a lot of nonsense about Pogba, right? For being 80 million last time and then not
After scoring
performing.
2 goals and 1 assist in that game.
Yeah.
In that game. I want
So,
the same treatment. I want the
and
same treatment from these guys.
then Grealish, like a lot of people felt like Grealish was a flop. To me, no, Grealish at City was not a flop, and that is my
Mm,
opinion because I don't look at the price tag, because the price tag is being set by the club. Florian Wirtz, when Liverpool wanted to pay whatever that was, and now people went like, oh, he's so expensive, more than 100 million. The guaranteed for Wirtz is 100 million. If he wins 4 Champions League or 4 Premier League, is when Liverpool will pay the balance.
mm,
So
mm,
at max for now is 100 million. That is expensive. I did not agree for Liverpool to pay that for that
mm,
player
mm,
because I did not feel like I don't feel any player is worth it for more than 100 million. Whether
mm,
it's
mm.
Isak or whether you tell me Mbappe, no, nobody is worth more than 100 million. But that's just how the game is. So I'm not going to look at the price tag
But
and
how much
think
how
that.
much time, though, do you think you're willing to give him,
I
like,
think
before,
like
like, someone else has to step up, or, like, I don't know, like.
okay, I feel like he's in a comfortable position now because he doesn't have the pressure to have to perform. Yeah, the eyes are looking. But if you ask like Liverpool fans, we all will agree with you 100%. It's been quite underwhelming. But at
Mm,
the same time, he is not in the position whereby he needs to do something.
Yeah.
He's not in a
mm,
position where you look
mm,
at it and like, hey, come on, man, words you have to make the because there are a lot of game changers in Liverpool. Chiesa is a game changer for
mm,
Liverpool now. I think more
mm.
than words, Chiesa has been proving to. Even when Chiesa just came in, he had a header that just went wide. He if he
The
had scored,
Robertson crossing, right?
right,
That one.
right.
Yeah.
So I feel like forwards, the pressure is not. I can see what he's doing. He's a classy player. You can see he has the even this Burnley game. If you had to look deeper into what Words himself was doing, he was the only player that I felt was capable of pulling the Burnley guys out of that defensive because when he had the ball, they had to come out to because he was the only one capable. So I know what they are trying to do with that. But with that being said, he will have better game. But the physicality portion cannot be addressed in a season that's going to be so busy. Unlike for Manchester United, whereby you guys can have 6 days off, Liverpool are not going to have it. The Champions League is starting this week, so he's not
Mm.
like he's going to be afforded the time to go and bulk up. So
But
it's an off-season thing.
he's gotta do something different, I guess. Like that's
Yeah,
how I look at
definitely.
it. He's
But
gotta do
the
something
Premier
different
League
and
is going to
adapt.
be physical. No matter what, the Premier League is going to be physical. So he's not going to address that portion of his game
Yeah.
this season. So it
What
has to go until the off season for him to go and bulk up and then to be ready for the physical aspect of the game. But if you ask me, is it going to happen this season? No. So, but do I expect better performances from him this season? Yes. When do I expect it? I can say I expect it next game because I have
mm,
faith in him. But
mm.
when you look at it, the pressure the minute Isak starts to play right, there will be lesser pressure on Words because now the price tag to the world will be like, okay, now we want to see Isak score goals, and then Words will have lesser pressure. Will that help him? Maybe with not everyone looking at him, he might perform. But even with that being said, people expecting this miracle to come out of him. His GA was not so fantastic at Leverkusen. Liverpool signed him to be a creative player, to be someone that passes, break lines. He's not for his goals and assists because that's not what he was known for at Leverkusen. Right?
Who
So
you mean
it,
Rues, right?
words, yeah. So
Yeah, 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 exactly.
to think so, his role
Exactly. Exactly.
will be. I don't think his role will be judged this year because there are still the other players that are going to make the difference. I think Isak will be expected to bring uh bring the impact faster. So
Mm.
forwards, but like I said, I expect him to be better. Even this game, I expected him to be better. I expect him, but if he's not doing it, it's not like I'm saying I'm going to cut him some slack or whatsoever. I still expect him to be better, but I feel like the pressure is not there for him.
What do you think about it, Ismam? Like this situation with Words right now?
Well, as in, I agree with Mark. I think it's this kind of players like he is in a very privileged place whereby he doesn't have to be the main man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like he
Mm.
doesn't need to be that guy to make the difference yet. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like as the season go as a whole, as he gets used to the pace, I think he'll be good. Like because you can see, I'm like my only like thing is like he should take more shots. And last time, like at Leverkusen, he used to take like
He has to
match
take
shots from
shots.
outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also see right, he's actually lining up, but then he just decides to pass it off. I think
Yeah,
if
correct.
he kind of gets the confidence to like start taking shots, right? Like
Yeah.
I think he will be a success. But here's the thing, okay? The I cannot stand the media, right, in this aspect, right, where they are making up, like they're pulling up stats like, oh, the most off the
Oh
ball
yeah,
runs. It's all
runs
this
into the
fucking
box.
it's all this nonsense,
Nonsense.
right?
Yeah,
The thing is,
nonsense.
right, okay, because if that's the thing, right, then you must be consistent also. Why is it for one team you are doing like this, but for another team, like the other big teams or what, right, like the so-called conventional big teams, right? Anything that happens, right, like one game without a goal, right, and you pile on onto the player.
I
Yeah.
feel it's weird
Cannot be like
for
that.
them to back Words that way. Like if Words was a Grealish, right? I will understand because the English media likes to hype their own players, right? So
Yeah.
for them to really back to like to be favorable for Words, I think it's weird if because people are like, oh, like what you say, and I
Mm.
found those stats to be weird, but people are like, oh, they are now making up
This
stats
Mm.
to protect the player,
yeah.
Mm.
but
This
then if he was English, I think it would make sense for them to try to
mm,
protect the player, but he's not. So I don't see
yeah.
why they are trying to
Just
back him.
I have my take on this as well. I'm going to give you guys my take, but before that, this weird stat that we were talking about, Florian Wirtz apparently ranks this season off the ball runs 92
First, first,
first,
everything
runs
first,
into final third 42
first,
First.
first, runs ahead of the ball 26 first.
first.
So but
Florian
anyway,
first.
but here's my take on Wirtz, right? Before we continue on to another game, I again I price tag can't be set by managers, even though the pressure is going to be there. The label is always going to be there. I always feel that way, no matter
Mhm.
who it is. It could be Cunha with 100 mil, and I would definitely the pressure is going to be him, right, on him, right? But I just haven't seen, for me, right. I think Mehdi knows I'm a fan of Florian Wirtz. I told him before he moved to Liverpool, I was already a fan of Florian Wirtz. I watched him play. and I think he hasn't been doing what he was doing, not only in the Bundesliga but also on the international stage. He hasn't been doing that. He's haven't played that way. Of course, again, accommodating and coming into the league, a new league, of course, is going to be different and stuff. But I just haven't seen him ball out yet. So hopefully, he does well, because another favorite player of mine is Frimpong, who actually I wanted at United, but he's in Liverpool, and he is doing quite well. And I like watching Frimpong play. He's effective, and he's pretty good. So yeah, I'm hoping. I don't know. I want to see more from Woods. I guess that's my take. I
You
think
know,
I haven't seen.
when Words will do well these
Mm,
coming games in the Champions League,
yeah,
whereby it's
I
not
mean,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
EPL,
Hopefully we
EPL
can see.
physicality. But of course,
Yeah.
with that being said, the first game we are playing is Atletico Madrid. So,
Ah,
so
So
if you talk about
be ready.
physicality,
the
Yes.
the OG, but they are the OG creators of the haram ball, lah, if you know it.
ball. So enough for that game
Okay.
because
Shall we
it
move?
was quite straightforward. So we just cover a bit of other results for you. That whatever we discussed were the main talking points, main games. Other games
What? Shall
included
we start with Yep.
Newcastle 1, Wolves 0.
Walter Made
Walter
debut
Made
goal.
has scored.
The fella is as tall as the defender, like Dan Burns, yeah. Bloody tall, yeah.
I think he's taller than Denburn if I'm not wrong
Yeah,
because
like
they are side
I
by
expected
side.
him to score a header though, to be honest, and he did score a header.
Right.
So
But it was a well placed header though.
it was,
Right.
it was a
He looks a bit like Rudy Waller. I think like we were
Right, he does,
giving
right?
me. So Rudy Waller was up to no good somewhere. Nobody knows. But on the other side of it was Wolves. Wolves another defeat,
oh,
and
it
I
was
think it
tough
was
though. They brought it to Newcastle though. I watched the game.
like to a certain
Yeah.
extent, but wouldn't say it was so convincing by
No, yeah.
Newcastle. But at the same time, I feel like they were quite comfortable. But their other new signing, Wissa, is injured for 5 to 6 weeks, I think. So
Mm,
I think we will see
mm.
a lot of Voltemade
Yep.
playing up top, and especially I think their first Champions League game against Barcelona,
Ah, when
Oh,
is it?
Newcastle.
really?
If I am not
Let me
wrong,
see.
just let me pull it out real quickly here.
Is it?
So there's a
Uh,
lot of Champions League games. If I'm not wrong,
no, like Europa. Yeah, sorry. They are playing Newcastle at home. They are playing Barcelona.
right? So Newcastle's first Champions League game is against Barcelona. That would be interesting watch, lah. As much as I give a lot of stick to Newcastle and Newcastle fans, right? The Champions League games last season at home for Newcastle was
Mm.
crazy. The atmosphere was mad. So it'd be interesting to see Lamine Yamal against Dan Burn at St James's Park. The next game, Bournemouth beat Brighton 2-1. We had
2-1.
Semenyo scoring again.
Yep.
That guy is such a good player. Although it was a penalty this time round. Oh, but the first goal was scored by Alex Scott.
Scott. Whew.
Alex, what?
That guy
What a
is
shot.
that guy to me. Those are the type of guys like Alex Scott, Adam Wharton, and then now you have who was the guy at Forest we were talking about earlier? Elliot Anderson.
Elliot, yeah. Anderson, yeah.
Right. These guys, I feel like Bournemouth just Bournemouth just makes me happy when I see them. Again, is my manager pick for you guys as the next manager, right?
Shout outs to Tavernier and Evan Nelson as well. Like Tavernier is really, doing a lot for Bournemouth right now. Even Evan Nelson as well. Like I think they both
Evan
played very
Nelson had
well.
a
Got the penalty and stuff.
big price tag to live up to because they replaced him with the Solanke money, right?
Yep.
He's a hard worker. I wouldn't say he's so prolific, but he's a hard
Yep.
worker, right?
And also
She reminds me of
it's
Raul Jimenez a bit. Do you guys like see
yeah,
it?
right.
Like
I
he's
can
that
see
his yeah.
but it's 3 straight wins for Bournemouth. So I think they're doing Iraola is doing a good job. So
Yep.
yeah, man.
Anthony, guys, when are you guys gonna hire the guy, Anthony? He won't be on the market forever. Next game,
I think by
Everton.
Christmas,
Yeah,
he's gonna become a manager.
Everton 0, Aston Villa 0.
Yeah, it's just a stalemate there everywhere.
My
Emery,
goodness, the cheeks on some Aston Villa fans are okay. The cheeks on some Aston Villa fans. You know who I'm talking about? You. Okay?
Ooh.
You know who I'm talking about. If you're
Ooh.
watching this, you know I'm talking about you.
Shots fired. Shots have been fired.
Ooh.
Chatting so
Shoot
much
your
shit,
shot.
right? For a
Ooh.
club, 4 games, 0 goals, 1 point.
Oh, they've not
Villa,
scored.
they have not scored a single goal. Villa.
Mm.
And I have this stupid Watkins on my as a striker for my
Bro,
FPL.
time to back him. Put him
Get
in the
him out,
bin,
bro.
man, bro.
Get him
No,
out,
but
bro.
I think, dude, they are so flat and bad lah. And we talk about it every week. How can we have this conversation every week? We are talking about how flat and bad they are.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I feel like Emery, right? He doesn't know his best 11 at the moment. I think it's a lot
Bizot.
of players. Bizot,
Eh,
apart from Bizot.
dude,
Bizot.
this
But
Martinez had a solid.
yeah,
He was playing, right?
solid game.
Bro, he
Yeah, he
saved
made
them,
a couple of
He
saves.
almost
Yeah.
they almost got cut by Everton, but then
Bizot.
Bizot, he will give up already. No more Bizot.
But one interesting thing that Emery said, right, after the game, which I totally agree, is him saying that football has evolved so much that it's about two teams cancelling out each other, and then you have to find ways in game. And the reason why I agree with this so much is, although he hasn't been able to find results in game, right, is no longer your philosophy no longer applies, which is why for Amarim I think it's not going to work out because you cannot be fixated. Even Pep Guardiola has now, he is no longer playing his way. Remember when we spoke about him playing on the counter against United? You
That is, yeah.
cannot be so fixated in a way, and managers have to find different ways in game. And I
Mm.
think that was whether will Emery get to see it before he gets sacked or not. I'm not sure, but it's been a bad start. But I feel like, but with all that being said, right, I think it was a good point though, because Everton have been flying, right? I fully expected
Yeah.
Everton to beat Villa at home, somewhere their new home ground, and then they got the highs of Jack Grealish and all that, right? So to come out with a 0-0 away, I think is not the worst result. Although
Yeah.
yeah, they've been flat and all that. Yeah, so we will see when will Aston Villa get their first goal. I am curious to know who they play next to see whether will they get the. I no idea that they have not scored.
Yeah. It was
Aston
it.
Villa's next game is. Can they score next week? Oh, Aston Villa is playing Sunderland. I think they will get their first goal next week.
Don't look down on
Maybe.
Sunderland, man.
Maybe
I'm
not,
not.
bro.
I'm not looking down, but I
Bro, they
see
help. The next game we probably talk about is Palace and Sunderland, right? And they held Sunderland, and they.
Palace. Palace. Okay, I'm not sure. I don't see goals flowing for Palace this season. Let's be honest. I think the
Cause no
minute they
Eze,
lost
they lost
Eze,
the
Yeah, yeah,
it's going to take a while, and then you can have the brilliance of Adam Wharton and all that, but Adam Wharton is a more like, I see him as a 8 rather than a 10 to go and
yeah.
create the goals for Mateta or something, right?
I think they
So
can stay
I'm
in the
not
game, but then cannot really have the
yeah,
creative output. Yeah.
they don't have the, my hot take is Ollie Watkins will score next week against Sunderland.
Ooh,
That's when his first
ooh.
goal is
Bro,
coming.
please make it happen lah. 4 weeks, 4 weeks I have the fella up
Ishmael
front
means
lah.
it, man.
Morgan Rogers. I think Aston Villa will win 2-0 at Sunderland. Like yeah, Sunderland's been, but you know how it is. Emery is not going to stay winless, goalless.
Mm,
Although his
mm.
mom would hope so that he can give back his friend.
Yep.
No,
so
Okay.
but as in
so
for me, it's more on the fact that I got Watkins on my FPL, and he's an expensive asset. It's nothing to do with the guy. It's more like, oh
It's
my
just
time, lah,
goodness, like
bro.
it's a headache.
just
Swap him out for João
leave
Pedro
him
or like
Bro,
even
I
Evan
swap him
Nelson,
out.
Evan Nelson or something, lah, bro.
I tell
He'll
you what's gonna
score.
happen. If I swap him
Yeah,
out,
but
he'll score a hat trick.
longevity,
But
Yeah.
longevity, bro. One game are not gonna bring you anything.
Watkins is always like that. What slow start and then
Yeah.
get the result. Okay,
Later
so
on, then you
that
can bring him back again. Yeah.
wraps up all the games we
Wait,
wanted to
wait, wait, wait,
cover.
wait.
What game is it?
I got Palace Sunderland, right? 0-0.
Yeah.
And then we have Fulham and Leeds. I just want to
That
shout out.
that game was such a
But wait,
poor.
wait. Okay.
Who you want to
Fulham
shout out?
won. Guys, this is
Last
something
minute.
that I think you guys gotta watch. This guy, this Kevin Brazilian guy, from Fulham, right? Or was it Fulham? Yeah, guys, quite baller, guys. Just
Kevin.
give him a watch, Kevin. Right? So
He
he came on as a sub in the second half, and he actually changed the pace of the game. And I was surprised, Brazilian dude. So
even
I don't
his
know,
name
just check it
doesn't
out.
sound convincing for me to go and
Kevin,
Kevin.
Kevin. Kevin
easy
like
what?
sounds like
Kevin.
some
What?
some of my Indian friend called Kevin or something like that.
Okay, but yeah, that's my shout out for
All right, so
that Fulham game.
let's cover the things that we always cover. Goal of the week for you guys.
I got
Zubimendi.
two.
Yup, Zubimendi volley. I think
Okay
Zubimendi.
lah. You guys give Zubimendi, I give to Caicedo.
Mm.
mm, but bro, okay lah. I mean, to each his own, right?
Is
Maybe you saw the short
no, I
power and
fuck.
you
Yeah.
Zubimendi is a first time volley, bro.
Yeah, and that's his first goal outside of the penalty box.
Oh, is it?
In
Yeah.
his
Mm,
professional career.
In his professional career.
What?
wow.
Fuck it
That's
lah. Okay lah. I
insane.
gotta give it to Zubimendi lah. Zubimendi. I change Zubimendi.
This week, right? My selections
Ah,
hurt me. Okay, your player of the week,
I have one interesting for you guys. Let me go first. Okay,
Kevin.
Robin. No, what the fuck? Robin
Van Persie.
Roos. No, Robin Roos. Palace goalkeeper. And so I got to give it to him. I saw what. Yeah, the saves were amazing. So yeah, I got to give it to him.
Mm, I think it was Van de Ven for me.
Ooh,
He was very, very good. Like damn solid throughout.
My
Mickey Van de
player of the
Ven for me.
my player of the week this week, I was thinking between like Zubimendi and Mosquera, but I give it to Mosquera for like whatever reasons we spoke about, right? 13 million coming into a team to replace Saliba because Saliba got injured. He has not put a foot wrong. And I wish
Mm.
that we could have sourced out somebody for that sort of money. So for 13 million, when you think about it, I believe that he can turn out to be the signing of the season. Like if all
mm.
goes well, right? Like you
Yes.
think about how much he costs and all that. Who's your team of the
Sorry,
week?
sorry, sorry. Before we go, sorry, I gotta correct my mistake. Sorry, Robin Roos is Sunderland's goalkeeper. Sorry, my bad. Crystal Palace
Oh,
had the six shot on goal, and he saved Sunderland from them winning. But anyway, yeah. So it was again team of the week.
yeah, team of the week. So like I said, this week hurt me because again, my team of the week this week is Arsenal. I've given everything to Arsenal because like get it's so straightforward. Like it's a Forest game. You maybe might think, oh, maybe is there a new manager bounce? They just dealt with the game like it was the easiest thing to do. They were
Mm.
solid. They did not concede much chances. They scored 3 goals. They like any player who needed a goal or assist had it. Like Zubimendi scored, and then Eze managed to give an assist to Gyökeres managed to score a goal. So to me, like I saw Arsenal as the standout team for the week.
Ish, what about you?
My team of the week is Brentford.
Yeah, nicely plucked a draw.
Yes.
Yeah,
Boy,
nice.
yours.
I got to give it to Bournemouth for the 3 straight wins. From
Okay.
with the players that they have, things that are happening, and how they're actually balling out. So yeah, that's my team of the week.
So every
Actually,
week
talking
we
about
yeah.
sorry. Talking about
Yeah.
straight wins, right? Did you see the United guy who hasn't cut his hair 300 over
Oh
this?
yeah. I
Because he
think
has.
he's not going to cut his hair, lah, bro. That is going to grow like a
My
Eiffel
Yeah,
Tower. He has
God, it's
what
mad.
back to back wins, right?
he's
Five
mad.
games
5 game
5
back to back.
games straight
Mm.
wins.
straight.
I think
Yeah.
he's not planning on a haircut at all anytime soon.
He should give
So
up
every
lah.
week
He should give up.
we do this thing called the Ballon d'Or. This Ballon d'Or is given by us to dishonorable mention for the week. So it can be a player, it can be a referee, it can be a fan, it can be a team, it can be a manager, it can be anything at all. So who do you guys have this week
Hannibal for me. The idiot.
for the handball?
Yeah.
Matt, who do you have?
My Ballon d'Or this week is Manchester United because I give it to the whole team, including the manager and all of it because that was bad from them, man.
Yeah, I
Yours?
mine is Kekes flop. Sorry.
Ah, yeah, he's
I'm
been
sorry. That
You
was so.
don't
It was so bad. It was
you
so
don't
bad.
have to be sorry because Kirkes I think has been
It
quite
was.
underwhelming.
I'm so
Rather
sorry. It
than
was.
words, right? If you
Yeah.
ask me on words, right, my expectation for Kirkes was
Kirkes
higher
is.
because I thought it would be so seamless for him
Plug
to
and play,
come
right?
into right. I thought it was a
Yeah.
plug and play,
Mhm.
but then now you are looking at a lot of
Ah.
shaky performances. So
But yeah,
that's
it's gotta
that
be him,
for
man. So sorry.
this week's mentions. So finally, before we go standard, we will go into our FPL table and look at how our odd league is going. If you want to join, feel free. We will still continue to post the.
That's
I
right.
think we should post it until like match week 15, right? After that, maybe we shouldn't accept newcomers because what
I
if they
mean,
are already in 300 points and then they decide to just join in and just win the league, right? We
we
cannot be doing.
already some of the guys on in the league are already going to be close to 300, bro. So I don't know. We maybe we
But I see this. Let me take a look at the. Oh, my
should we
name is
cap it?
on the up.
Should we keep it
But
like
this
to
guy
like
is okay. For
30?
example, Nitin. Nitin is number one at the moment with 277 points.
That's
Oh,
But
right.
I think he's joined. He's been with us since game week 2,
Yep.
and then we have Morley at number 2 with 253 points. Man,
Mm-hmm.
Hadi G,
Hadi G,
Daddy, very
Daddy,
tired.
very tired.
That is one of the worst team names I've ever seen. He has 248 points. Wow. After that, right, it's quite close. Like, that's 248, right? And then we have Taufik and Mitran at 247. Then there is Yasir 242. Okay, so now we will look at where we are standing. I
Mm-hmm.
am currently at number 13 with 212 points.
all right. Hey, I went
Oh,
up also,
again,
bro.
Heikel is currently at number 20th with 192 points.
Mm-hmm.
Ismam is at number 22 with
That's a mad four. I was the
111.
second last, last week. So I
Look,
went up by like 4 points and four positions.
guys,
Yeah.
it's time to cross the 200 point mark here,
That's what you
guys.
said last week, lah, bro. Come on. Don't
And
worry.
yet
Don't
you
worry.
guys are not there yet.
It will be there. Don't worry. I'll be there.
But
Trust.
I'm glad that at the top half it's quite close. So it'll be quite interesting
It's an
when
interesting
when
fight,
when
yeah.
it ends, right? But of course we still have triple captain and all that, so you guys are not out of the race entirely. Who knows, like what is a smart triple captain? Triple captain Haaland against United when the second
And
game
then and
comes
then
in.
you're gonna watch Haaland not scoring at all, bro.
This happens. We need
Yeah.
to remove like Chris Wood and all these guys. We are
Yeah.
hoping to
Exactly.
Bro, it's like
to
damn
Exactly.
depressing. I've never been the last at the mini league in my life. But I find myself being the last place at one of the more the ones we regularly play. I've been playing with this
yeah.
guy for like 4 years. It's the first time
Yeah, I
I'm
think this
last.
is a very, very bad start of the season for you. I don't see you. I've never seen you perform this
I'm
badly
I have
in
a
that
I have
game.
a personal one. I'm gonna give a shout out to the Kampong boys. If you guys are hearing this, I'm very happy. I'm not last. I'm third last, right? Third last. But the
Mm-hmm.
last guy, right? His name is Bawa Aku Makanan. So as long as I'm not below him,
Oh, this
I'm
is
good.
your own league
My own,
somewhere.
my own league. So I'm happy as long as I'm not below him.
Guys,
He's now the last, so I'm good.
guys, guys,
So
guys. So
guys,
I have this
yeah.
friend. His name is Tijo. Shout out, bro. So actually he is like very good in FPL. So he
Mm-hmm.
was asking me
Mm.
about the offset, the FPL section and all this. So I was thinking maybe one day, if let's
Mm-hmm.
say the game week is a bore, like it's an absolute nonsense game week, we don't much to talk about. Maybe we can invite him over, then like talk
Mm-hmm.
about FPL a bit more. One of
Why
the
not?
weeks. Yeah, we
Yeah,
Yeah.
should.
that's exactly what Murli told me about Nitin. You go and look at Nitin's score at the moment. He has 277. You guys will not reach 200 points, right? He's almost reaching 300. That is one guy
Mm,
that 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 we can also bring along. But I don't believe any week will be a bore when it comes to EPL, especially when Man United is playing week in, week out, week in, week out. There is going to be something
Mm.
fun about Yo, so
Definitely,
like we
definitely.
mentioned, you guys can join us at the end of the season. We have promised the winner that we will buy the winners next season's jersey as a
Jersey.
gift if you finish top of the table. So it's not too late to join. You can join in the fun. We will leave the
That's right.
codes for you guys. So with that said, we have wrapped up game week 4. We are much forward looking to game week 5 because like we mentioned, there are two big games
Oh,
on game week 5. We have the Arsenal versus Manchester
I'm
City
scared
game,
now.
and
I'm
we have
scared
the
now.
Man United versus Chelsea
I'm worried now.
game, right? Do not be worried. Believe, believe. So for those of you guys who have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. We are trying to reach 100 subscribers by our first year of operating this podcast.
That's
If you
right.
guys are listening to us on Spotify,
And
do follow
only
our
4 weeks. Only 4 weeks on the football segment, so
Mhm.
we're very
Yeah,
very, very
we
excited for
still have
more.
34 weeks of heartbreak for you guys to cover. With that
That's right,
being
man.
said, my name is Maddie. It's been a pleasure, boys.
I'm
Hope to see you
Haikal.
guys happy in Game Week Fire.
I'm Ish. See you guys.
We are the What's Peace.
Yeah.
Peace.